Morning, everybody. How well doing today? Oh God, I'm so pale today. I don't know why. Or at least the hair color is coming somewhat through the swampy mermaid style. Why am I so bright today? I don't know. Good morning, Captain. Is anybody else here today? I don't think so. Good morning. Oh, I see somebody else. Okay, never mind. Never mind. Good morning. So I have stayed away from watching anything BlizzCon related. I've gotten spoiled a little because on my homepage, my subscriptions, I got a spoiler in where was it? Yeah, in this screen. Like I had two semi big spoilers. I know the title screen. Not the title screen. What's it called? The name of the expansions. Uh and I know the theming, I suppose. I know who this is. And apparently Chris Metzen's on the stage as well, which I like. I mean, we saw that here as well. Anyways. So I know the name that I forgotten already again. That's how much I cared. What was it? War Within. War Within. The War Within. Which it feels like a weird title, especially when you consider we had the Burning Crusade, we had Wrath of the Lich King, Cataclysm, Mist of Pandaria. What else did we have? Warlords of Draenor, and then we had Battle for Azeroth, right? And then we have War Within, which sounds so fucking cryptic, you know? So fucking cryptic. it's it sounds so fucking cryptic. But before I realized, not before I saw, before I realized who this fucking character was. Cause at first I thought, oh, well, it's an elf. It's definitely not a human. It's an elven creature. This could be a night elf, but they don't have those colored eyes. So first I thought, okay, this could be Tyrande. But then she had purple hair, and I was like, okay, no, it's not Tyrande. Cause not even in her Elune powered form, she has purple hair. Then I thought, oh, this could be Valeria, one of those two, Sylvanas sisters. Um, the Void Elf one, the Void Elf one. But then I don't think she has tattoos on her fucking face. On her fucking face, and that circlet thing is also new. So either they completely overhauled her, or this is another character. I have watched some of the Overwatch stuff, because the character was not, like, hidden. Like we knew which character was gonna come. Like, that was not a surprise at all, I feel like. So I watched some Overwatch stuff. But this is all I've seen for World of Warcraft. I think there's some Diablo news as well. I've seen some thumbnails with Diablo stuff. I don't know what else there is, though. Don't know what else there is. And hey, Anthony, good morning. But yeah, let's just go into the ceremony opening for World of Warcraft. And then I think there's gonna be a ceremony opening for Overwatch and maybe Diablo as well, which these three are the ones that I care about, really. I don't think Diablo is gonna have anything worthwhile.
Please welcome executive producer, World of Warcraft, Holly Longdale.
Holly Longdale. Oh, wait. She's the executive producer for. She used to be only for Classic WoW.
Wow.
That's
What's
interesting.
BlizzCon?
Does the sound okay?
Oh,
No.
I'm so excited to see you all here. This is fantastic. Well, can you believe we've been playing World of Warcraft for almost 20 years? You know, 2004 was a while ago, right? You know, some of us, we waited in those lines for those midnight releases and got our discs. Yeah!
She as sure
And
as
we
hell
raced
hasn't.
home to
Like,
install
let's be
those
honest,
WoW
she
discs
has not.
One by one.
I didn't get the joke. What? Sorry, I was fixing my
Home
light.
to install those WoW discs one by one.
Wasn't it 4? I think it was 4 discs in the original WoW
Across
thingy.
nearly 2 decades, players all over the world have taken part in the stories of Jaina, Sylvanas, Arthas, and Thrall,
Why would you start with
and
Jaina?
of course, so many others. And together, we've jumped through the portal into Outland. We sailed off into Northrend, and we watched Sargeras stab the world with that sword. During that time, gaming has changed, and you have changed, and so have we, particularly in the past year. The entire team across both modern and classic have embraced their communities. We are truly listening to your voices and taking action. My friends at Blizzcon, now is the perfect time to prepare to close chapters, open new ones, and double down on why we all fell in love with World of Warcraft in the first place.
Laurent
Without time,
Hassan.
let's get to it. As many of you know, WoW Classic was born out of the community's passion.
Okay, 1 second.
course-
1 second. World of Warcraft Classic was born because you didn't want money spent somewhere else. Let's be real for a second. Let's be real for a second. World of Warcraft Classic was born because they didn't want any other private server to get money. So they wanted to rake in the money. That's the reason why World of Warcraft Classic was born. Yeah, it is. It's weird. My cam is broken somewhat. Is it fixed now? Now it's very, very dark. I prefer that one. I prefer this. Okay. So weird. I can either have overexposure or just sit in the dark. Okay.
Most of you know that still drives us today. Like just in August, inspired by our community, we released Classic Hardcore.
Again,
So
I feel
in
like I have
Hardcore,
to
you
emphasize
only get-
this. You release Classic Hardcore because Project Ascension's done it for years now.
One life. And if you die, you may laugh, you may cry, you may have to replace a keyboard, but you go again. We've loved watching you take on the challenge or die trying. And because the hardcore community has asked, the team is planning to add a new way to play hardcore early next year.
A new way to play hardcore. Please do Ascension style. It's so fucking
And
cool.
last month in Wrath Classic, we released the Fall of the Lich King patch. And while there's still more to come in Wrath, earlier this year, we looked at your feedback to think about where are we gonna go next. We read through a lot, and I mean a lot of your feedback on social media forums, and we sent out surveys to our players. And here at BlizzCon, we're happy to announce Cataclysm is coming.
Oh, why?
And it's coming with hashtag changes.
Oh my God.
Based on your feedback, just like you'd expect from Classic. So now,
Oh, please, talent
let's
system.
jump into the Wayback Machine and get a reminder of all things Cataclysm.
I hope that they change it so that you still have talent points and not those talent systems that came with Cataclysm. Okay, oh, did they come with Mists? I don't remember now. It's a nice animation style.
There is no
Who did those animations?
no future. All life is doomed.
Oh, life is doomed.
Sons and daughters of Gilneas, hold the barricade! Do not give them an inch!
Oh god, the battle stances. Okay. Okay, missed opportunity to put the elevator boss in there. Missed opportunity.
It is time to end
That raid, this raid had the biggest elevator boss there ever has been.
Neltharion, it is time to end this.
Shall burn. Everyone succumbs in the end. Deathwing has sundered this world so that its true lords may return. You dare trespass into my domain? Die! This is my realm.
No, that's not. What was the other thing called? Or is it Tolborough? I don't remember.
Deathwing, the destroyer, the end of all things. I am the Cataclysm.
I'm surprised it didn't finish with the statue falling down. I'm very surprised about that. Captain!
You for real?
You for real? Thank you for the biddies, Captain. You don't have to. That was what? That was fun. Okay. Fair.
Get ready, my friends, because I love the passion, by the way. Get ready, my friends, because the road to Deathwing's destruction is coming in the first half of next year.
Okay. I really hope they keep the talent system,
All right.
the talent trees,
Now,
and don't switch.
over the past
I
4
think that
years
happened
of
in-
Classic, we've watched
don't
you
remember.
master the vanilla experience, and we've loved it. So much, in fact, that we thought
Oh,
we'd
no,
add
no, no.
some unique flavor.
That was World of Warcraft Classic. That was something we've already done years ago.
With a seasonal
I think that
mode
was 2014.
and a dash
Actually,
of
10 years
discovery.
ago.
Season of Discovery is vanilla WoW with a spicy twist. You're going to discover new secrets as you scour the world and find class-altering abilities. Have you ever wondered what it might be like to be a tanking warlock?
They're actually making World of Warcraft Ascension. Oh my god.
Or take on the role of a mage healer? In Season of Discovery, you can.
Oh, I actually gonna play this.
The season is going to launch with an initial level cap of 25. And when you hit that max level, you'll be met with the brand new level 25 endgame. You'll discover a brand new 10-player Black Fathom Deeps raid with new and reimagined bosses, mechanics, and of course, rewards. Then, after a couple of months, we'll raise the level cap a bit. You'll find even more endgame content, and so it will go. If you're here at BlizzCon, you can play the Black Fathom Deeps raid in the Warcraft Hall.
Okay. Okay. That's actually interesting.
So,
Actually, Project
if you
Ascension,
love
hint,
Classic
hint.
or just a little intrigued about what exactly a Warlock tank can do, go check it out. For all of you watching online, don't worry. You won't have to wait long to play. Because we want you to discover all of the secrets together, there will be no public testing.
Oh, God.
WoW Classic Season of Discovery launches in a few short weeks on November
Weeks?
30th.
Oh, end of the month. Hell yeah. I have to say, though, I'm very scared about Blizzard not testing this. I am very scared about Blizzard not testing this. Blizzard is not known for the quality assurance at all. At all. Oh, like, that is scary. Like, untested stuff, that is scary.
For more information on the Season of Discovery and Cataclysm, don't miss the Classic panel this afternoon.
Okay, now I actually have to watch the classic
All right.
panel. I didn't
now
want to,
it's
but...
time to talk
okay.
to my Dragon Riders in Modern WoW.
I actually have to watch the classic
Our
panel.
team
I hate
remains
this.
committed
Oh,
to giving you meaningful game updates
She actually
about
speaks
every
fast
8
enough
weeks
for
with
me.
more content sprinkled in between. We really want Azeroth to feel alive and the home you want to come back to no matter how you play. Our next major update, Guardians of the Dream, is going live in just 5 days.
okay, so I know in Guardians of the Dreams, they're gonna overhaul the druid stuff and things, right? There's a new boomkin form where you can customize it like a mount. And you can go through a multitude of new druid forms. I hope that that's because they're anticipating new druids to join the ranks. You know, like, the game is coming to an end. Like, not the game, not the World of Warcraft in general, but the expansion is coming to an end. That means that Drakthir have been in the Alliance and the Horde for some time. That also could mean that there might be some other Drakthir that are not gonna be evokers. Hopefully. Hopefully.
I want to give a shout out to my elves. It is finally our time. 1 week later, Season 3 will start with the last raid of the expansion, Amirdrasil, the Dream's Hope. There we will have our final showdown with Farak and defend our new world tree. But fear not, that's not the end of our time in the Dragon Isles. There's a lot more to come in Dragonflight that will serve as both the epilogue of this story and the bridge to our next one. Like I said earlier, we are evolving. We are changing our approach to this big, beautiful game and how we look ahead to new chapters. BlizzCon, it's time for a new adventure. One that has grown from the very seeds of what captured our hearts when we first set foot in Azeroth.
Okay.
For veteran players, the last 20 years have led us to this. And for those who have yet to join us, now is the time. And who better to talk about the first step in this journey?
No, is she? No. Okay. Okay. If she's calling out Chris Metzen, That's gonna be weird. Because Chris Metzen used to do these announcements like years ago. So her saying like, who better to talk about the future of World of Warcraft than the guy who used to do it years ago? That's a bit weird.
Than someone who carved the path in the first place. Everyone,
Chris.
please welcome my friend and the executive creative director of the Warcraft universe, Chris Metzen.
Daddy's in the house. Daddy is in the house. I have to say, I love Ian Hazacostas, but I bet he's so fucking happy that he doesn't have to go on stage anymore, because I love Ian, but he's always looked so uncomfortable on those stages. He's always looked so fucking nervous, and I'm just like, oh my god, I'm so sorry you have to do this. Guess who's back?
What
Back
up, Blizzcon?
back again.
Holy smokes!
Look at those fanboys.
Horde, where you at? Alliance! BlizzCon as one! Holy smokes, thank you. Thank you. It is, thank you guys.
It's weird that he's just wearing a plain Blizzard tee.
It has been a long, strange trip to get back to this spot. I tell you that.
I bet.
It has been interesting this past year, being back under the hood of World of Warcraft. It has reminded me of a few things. One, I love Warcraft.
He didn't say World of Warcraft, which is interesting.
Number two, you know what? I really missed this work.
It's interesting that he didn't say
And number three, on the
missed
real,
World
it
of
feels
Warcraft. I missed
amazing
Warcraft.
to be back and part of this Blizzard family again. As Holly said a bit ago, next year is the 20th anniversary of World of Warcraft. I can't even believe it. Whatever. How many of y'all have been playing from the beginning?
Nope, not me. I never played the Warcraft game, so I love you. You make us money.
So given that... What was that? Doesn't matter. We started thinking, so what next? Right? What expansion hook? What single storyline could possibly match such a historic occasion?
The War Within, I still don't really
Started
know.
thinking about, well, I did,
Okay,
the good old days, right? And some of those early mythic ideas.
so I know the expansion is called The War Within. And when I first heard that, I was hoping for some infighting, the war within the factions. There's ample enough reason for example, Night Elves to hate Worgans. Like, Worgans are the only reason why why their tree got burnt down, right? There's enough reason in the Horde to hate the undead right now. There is enough for infighting, which could open up a reason for them to make cross-faction playable, just in general, a thing. Which I would love for that to happen, because honestly, I would hope for Gen Greyman to die, and I hope that Jaina Proudmoore's dying. I hate those characters. I feel like those characters have been war criminals that should be executed. Seriously. It should be executed. And they never had to face any accountability, because so I just hate those characters. But seeing that we have Zalatath shown up there as well, I'm afraid that there's gonna be some old god shit. Because I'm still not sure what Zalatath actually is. Like, I don't think we know what she actually is. Like, she's been imprisoned by the old gods in a fucking dagger for a reason. Maybe because she is part of an old god, maybe some memory, maybe a leg, an arm, I don't know. Maybe she is part of an old god herself. Like, there's still one old god we have never met, because apparently they died way before Warcraft ever came along. What was the name of that fifth old god? Wow, old gods. Yasharaj, I think, is the one that we've never met. I'm pretty sure. Yasharaj. The most powerful. I don't know. Let's
kind of established the background of Warcraft. Started thinking about
oh my god, why?
Even some of the newer ideas.
What's going on now? Stop that. Restart. No. I said restart. Bitch.
Recently,
Okay,
but
there we
still
go.
in a way, feel a little unresolved. And in the mix of all that
I'm
stuff,
afraid.
in the mix of all those ideas, particular things like, what the hell has Magni actually been babbling about all these years?
Who actually cares?
Was the thing that he came to warn us about in Battle for Azeroth, did it actually play out? Or is
we never got a thing there. I don't think, did we? I don't
there potentially something darker still looming on the horizon?
I don't remember, it's been so long.
no.
The story about Battle for Azeroth.
Will there eventually be an apocalyptic confrontation between the forces of the light and the void? Talk to me, Blizzcon. I'll tell you what, for nothing, my pally Maine, I'm all in on that kind of thing if it happens. It's gonna happen.
He just said it's gonna happen.
And really
Oh,
the big
God.
question for all the
Is
models,
Xelatath just bringing in
what
the new
have
Black
the
Empire?
Titans actually been doing since the dawn of civilization?
Circle jerking.
What is the real purpose of all of their cute little installations slammed into the side of the planet? Do we know everything we need to know about their real intentions for our world? Just saying.
Plus, we also have a Titan soul in the world, don't
BlizzCon.
we?
All of these hooks and 100 more. 68, carry the 2. A bunch more. All cooking in the pot. Started to reveal a storyline. Something epic. How epic? Real epic.
Real epic.
A storyline that in almost every way feels like the culmination of the first 20 years of our storytelling.
Okay.
A storyline provided we do our jobs, we do the thing.
do I have to remind everybody? Oh, no. I want to remind everybody. Blizzard's not the best company to tell a story in World of Warcraft. The game, for whatever reason, has been lacking story for quite some time. And the interesting story nuggets you don't get in-game. You get in cinematics, in the books, in comics, outside of World of Warcraft itself. But storytelling inside the game's never been that great. Never been that great.
That will vector us into the next 20 years of adventure.
They want to make an expansion to go to set us up for the next 20 years. Okay, now I'm interested.
Blizzcon.
I'm interested.
Are you with me, Blizzcon?
No.
We call this storyline the World Soul Saga. The World Soul Saga is so epic, as we covered.
How epic?
It cannot be contained within any single expansion. It is built to play out over multiple expansions over the next few years.
Why? Why? I do not think that there is enough of a storyline to explain who the soul is inside our planet and what. I don't think there's enough storyline for fucking. Okay.
Come on
Let's
now.
hear him out. Let's hear him out.
Having said that, we are working on multiple ways to deliver this adventure to you a little faster than you're used to. We're not going to get into it at this BlizzCon, forgive me. But keep your ears peeled. I assure you, we are moving with purpose. And the last thing we really want is for y'all to have your grandkids controlling your mouse and your keyboard trying to wrap this thing up. So, it's coming. Also, given the scale of this monster, we have decided to change it up today. Here we go. Dun, 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 dun. Instead of just debuting your next expansion all on its lonesome, we have decided to give you a glimpse at your next 3 expansion sets.
Okay.
Does this meet with your approval, BlizzCon?
I'm very skeptical. Extremely skeptical.
My friends, I'm gonna warn you, there may be mild spoilers ahead. Actually, I'm just kidding. They ain't mild. Buckle up. Are you ready, BlizzCon?
Okay.
The first part of the World Soul Saga and your 10th expansion is called World of Warcraft, The War Within.
So that was just one of the... Do they name every single one of them?
In this chapter,
Okay.
you will be descending into the heart of Azeroth itself.
Also, it's within the
exploring
planet.
new subterranean kingdoms and engaging with ancient cultures like the Earthen and the terrifying Nerubians of Azj-Kahet.
Oh god. It is oh god shit.
But as the forces of darkness close in around our precious world soul, will be called to do what you always do, which is
Fuck shit up.
dispense indiscriminate justice upon all those who got it coming.
Alright. Okay. So us going on the ground, I do not like. I do not like that at all whatsoever. Because I would have loved, just for once, just one time, Blizzard releasing an expansion that has nothing to do with the fucking old gods. And there has yet to be one. There's yet to be a single expansion that has no reference to any of the old gods at all. Vanilla WoW, we killed one of the old gods, Cthulhu. Burning Crusade, we killed, or we tried to kill Jaden, who was corrupted by the old gods. Wrath of the Lich King, we literally killed another one, Yogg-Saron, which is why I'm fearful for this expansion, because if I remember correctly, the blood of Yogg-Saron is seeping into the planet, which is an issue we've... Nicht jetzt, Mama, bitte, danke, tschüss. Which is, what I thought was the issue that Azeroth is speaking to us and needing some help there, because the blood of Yogg-Saron is seeping into the world soul. So what it comes down to, every single expansion we've ever had some indication of the old gods. We have never had an expansion that has absolutely nothing to do with old gods. And I'm getting quite sick of it, because it's such a boring storyline that it's all coming back to the old gods. Everything's their fault. Everything is their fault. And I'm just like, can we get a new storyline for World of Warcraft? Like, it's been 20 years. It's getting boring.
Talk to me, Blizzcon!
So us going down there, finding the blood of Yogg-Saron, that's definitely fucked up some shit down there.
The second part of the World Soul Saga
Okay.
is called World of Warcraft Midnight.
What?
In this chapter,
What?
you will be returning
Returning
to the old world,
to the Black
to the
Empire?
fabled lands of Quel'Thalas.
Oh, not that old. Quel'Thalas is...
There, the forces of the Void have invaded Azeroth, intent on snuffing out the light of the Sunwell and plunging the world into darkness and fear.
So it's time travel bullshit.
You will not only help
Again.
reunify the scattered elven tribes of Azeroth, but you will make your stand with the forces of the light and banish the shadow.
I am sorry, but World of Warcraft Midnight? I'm sorry. World of Warcraft Midnight. What's coming then? World of Warcraft Breaking Dawn? Come on, that shit's crazy. That shit's stupid. That shit's stupid.
Of course, BlizzCon.
Oh,
it is
God.
Azeroth. Things may not go
New
to
moon.
plan. Things may just spiral wildly out of control, leading us to the third part of the World Soul Saga. World of Warcraft, the Last Titan.
Okay. So we are talking about Azeroth.
In this chapter, you will again be returning to the old world, this time to the wintry lands of Northrend. And there, at Ulduar, you will bear witness to the return of the Titans to Azeroth.
Oh no, why?
And there, you will uncover a vast conspiracy. One that stretches throughout the history of the world. One that will challenge everything you think you know about the Titans.
Oh my god, the
their
Titans are not
intentions,
actually
and the true
the nice
nature
ones. Oh
of
my god,
Azeroth
who would have thunk?
itself.
Who would have thunk that we have to kill the
In
Titans?
time, my friend, in time. And it's called Silithus. There you go.
Why are we talking about Silithus now? About that sword?
In time, my friend, about the Titans, their intentions, and the true nature of Azeroth itself. In time, my friend,
I
in
didn't
time.
understand what he was saying. Something about Silithus.
And it's called
Maybe
Silithus.
the sword. Maybe actually he was talking about the sword.
Blizzcon, my hope, our dear hope, is that you can see when it comes to WoW storytelling, we ain't screwing around.
You have for years. You've been fucking around for years.
We are playing
You've been failing for
all
years.
the marbles. We are working to establish a thundering heartbeat for this franchise. Now. Now, BlizzCon. Hearken to me.
Oh god.
Always wanted to say that. Thank you. Whether you are a current player, and I'm gonna bet that most of you are, or maybe you jumped off the WoW train a few expansions ago, now is the time to come home.
Okay, so this trailer has to be fucking amazing. What they're gonna show
Now
now.
is the time to pull on your boots, pick up your broadsword or your favorite glowy staff, and get in this fight. Friends, Azeroth needs her defenders now more than ever. Now, in a few moments, we are going to give you a deeper look at the war within. But before we do that, I want to leave you with a little something to chew on. I want to remind you all that sometimes very epic things can begin with small, heartfelt moments. What you're about to see is one of those moments.
Is he telling us that the cinematic is not gonna be good? Is he telling us? Oh, you love the ghost boosters?
With that,
The ghost boosters?
BlizzCon. Proud defenders of Azeroth!
So
Let
is this
the
not?
World Soul Saga begin!
Okay. Anduin. Sitting in sand. Oh, he got old. What the hell? Or is that just because he's blonde? I don't know. Blonde people age so weirdly. Whose voice was that? Jaina? Big feet for Jaina. It's not Jaina.
You're here to tell me we don't get to hide.
It's Thrall, okay.
Is that it?
We don't get to hide.
You needed time. We stayed away. But time by itself heals nothing.
You didn't just come here for me.
He looks so
It's the visions.
destroyed.
You've seen them.
I suspect many have lately.
Of course, as soon as Chris Metzen's back at Blizzard, they bring back Thrall.
Someone is calling out from the heart of the world. Like a voice from a dream.
Where the fuck are
Something dark is coming,
they?
Anduin.
In the desert.
The world needs your light again. My son.
Oh, poor baby.
I'm not that person anymore. I have no light. Not after what I've seen. Not after what I've done.
No.
You are not your past, Anduin. I trust you.
Hear me.
Hear me.
They're getting worse.
The voice has not called out to Thrall. The voice has called out for Anduin. Is it the Void?
Look,
Is the Void calling to him?
whatever's coming, I'll stand with you. Of course I will. But we were drawn here by the voice. Who is it, Thrall? Who's calling out to us?
I'm not sure yet. But that sword was aimed at someone.
Tyrion Syllabus. Okay. Alright. Interesting. Interesting. So that was the trailer for the saga to start. So that wasn't the trailer for the expansion. I hope, because otherwise that would have been boring.
I guess we're not ignoring that sword anymore.
Oh, damn.
I do have to say, though, every time I see that cinematic, and I've seen it many times, it gets me right in my heart. It feels like a new beginning.
Please tell me
and it
that was
feels
just
like
for
coming
the
home.
saga to
And we
start.
are so
That was not
excited
the
about
expansion
where
trailer.
we are going. And now that you've seen or heard the overview for the World So Saga, let's talk about
Okay.
the war within.
Okay, okay.
As we all gather and explore beneath the surface, we'll find an ancient Nerubian civilization. They will be led by
Nerubian?
someone we were first
Ally Grace
introduced
is
to
confirmed.
in Legion. Xalatath, a harbinger of the
okay.
Void.
So it was Selatath.
The
Okay.
Void brings destruction and darkness that threatens all light in our world. The last time we saw Xalatath, she promised we would meet again. And it turns out she was right. And while Anduin, Thrall, and others share the same visions emanating from the heart of the world, some are seeing something quite different.
My
Because she's
visions
touched by the void.
are not the same as the others. No radiance. No song.
Just void.
Just the shadow. taunting me.
Wait.
The shadow
That's creatures crawling.
taunting me. From below.
Ashkahet. New zones. Isle of Dorn. More like Isle of Dork. The Ringing Deeps. Raging Deeps. I don't know. Hollow Fall. Hero talents. Earthen allied races, okay. Dragon riding.
The fate of our world rests upon the edge of a knife.
On the edge
And our
of a
battle
knife. Okay.
lies deep within.
Wait a second. I wanna take a look at her from the back again. She looks like one of those what were they called in Ice Crown? Those vampire people. Very interesting.
And our battle
Just with
lies deep within.
Okay.
In the War Within, alongside beautiful, unique underground zones, we will have challenging dungeons and raids and some new features too that are built to last. If you
Built to
like
last.
exploring on
Okay.
your own with a couple of friends or family, we have delves. These are a variety of bite-sized experiences for 1 to 5 players that will offer endgame rewards.
Interesting.
You
1
may
to 5
also
players.
find in your
Okay.
delve a familiar character who'd be willing to fight alongside you.
Okay,
And
companion
if you're
system.
like me and you have an obsession with alts, we have war bands. With this feature,
what
you
does
can
that
treat
mean?
all of your characters like family and share banks, reputations, transmog.
Okay. Rep is cool. What was that about transmog?
We're also introducing a new layer of customization for your class specs with hero talents. You might want to take your character down the path of a Dark Ranger, let's say, or a Farseer, and more.
Okay, that's interesting.
Also, during your travels underground, you will meet the Earthen Dwarves, and you'll be able to unlock them as our new allied race.
For Alliance?
I mean, who doesn't
Horde?
love a dwarf?
Board?
The facial hair options are spectacular. There's so much more to talk about, so please join the What Next panel that's coming up right after the opening ceremony right
Okay.
here. What I can tell you, though, is that the call to get into the fight to save our world will ring out when The War Within releases next year.
Oops. Coming fall
And
20...
lastly,
Oh, so
I
we're gonna have an entire
sincerely
year
want to
left
say-
in Dragonflight?
we are so excited to begin this new journey with you. And from our hearts,
But wait a second. She said earlier that the last raid of Dragonflight is coming out. Like this month, like tomorrow, basically. Like the last raid of last expansion, the last patch, the last big patch. The last raid is coming out soon. So we're gonna have a year of no new content? Okay.
to yours. Thank you for bringing our world to life.
Okay. Let's watch the What's Next panel, because now I'm interested. Is that all? Classic What's Next panel. How long is that? Let's watch both of them. Let's watch the classic. I'm more interested in the classic now. Those
Hola,
boots.
Blizzcon! Hi! My name is Ana Resendes, and I am one of the 2 lead software engineers on the World of Warcraft Classic team. Today, today I will be joined by 3 other of my members of the Classic team. Josh Greenfield, our senior producer. Nora Valera, my fellow lead software engineer. And Tim Jones, our team's lead designer. It is an honor for us to represent the Classic team and talk to you about so many of the things we're working on WoW Classic. So today, let's talk about the Classic journey so far, plus Cataclysm Classic, Hardcore, and our newer season, Season of Discovery.
Yeah.
So you know, WoW Classic was announced at Blizzcon 6 years ago. And ever since that day, the team worked really hard to bring those precious memories of WoW to you and to me. The Classic journey officially started when you joined us in 2019 back in Azeroth creating a new character. Remembering the importance of having a good wand and being careful of how many mobs you pull at a time. We went through the journey of getting your first mount and feeling like you were riding the most powerful machine, making all those level 10s jealous of your speed. Eventually, we hit 60 levels, and we went on to face some of the most iconic challenges, including the Fire Lord himself, Lord Ragnaros. We ran the Gong of Anchorage and saw new Scar Lords walking among us. We completed our journey at level 60 by adventuring into Naxxramas with 39 other of our friends. In 2021, the Dark Portal opened, and us brave heroes stepped forward into a new world to face the Born Legion. In Outland, we learned to fly and see the world from a different perspective. And after killing many Talbot, we contested Illidan, and turns out, you know, maybe we were prepared after all. Later on, we explored the coldest continent of Azeroth. We arrived to Northrend via boat of Zeppelin, and we started hearing about the presence of the Lich King. We became masters of vehicles, and if you're like me, indeed press that red button. Yeah, oops. All to prepare ourselves for the ultimate combat and defeat the Lich King on top of Icecrown Citadel. You know, as you heard earlier from our executive producer, Holly, our journey will continue into Cataclysm Classic in 2024. The Classic journey started with you as a love letter to the WoW community. We asked what you wanted, you responded to us, and we listened. And as we move onward, we look to bring new Classic experiences to life, Cata and beyond. We're driven by smart changes as informed by you. So this is Cata for you. You know, but before we talk about all the changes that we're bringing to Cataclysm Classic, let's talk about some of the features that will be returning as your journey to the new level cap to 85.
Okay.
So
Goblins and Worgen.
Goblins will be joining the Horde. Worgens will be joining the Alliance. Worgens, go! Cataclysm also unlocks a bigger combination of classes and races. Yeah. For players that like to play as a Night Elf Mage, your time is now. Transmogs are coming back into Cataclysm. Start getting those ideas ready for your next Transmog contest. For the Explorers, there's also where archaeology makes its debut. And for our PvP fans, rated backgrounds are coming back. Yeah, love PvP. The world will be changed after Sharding of Deathwing. No giant swords just yet, but big changes to Azeroth nonetheless.
Not giant
Along with
swords,
graphical
okay.
improvements, literally thousands of new quests await you across different continents. And of course, you will also be able to unlock flying Azeroth. As the world changes, it comes with some of the most iconic dungeons and raids that you have ever experienced. All in all, this comes with 5 new zones,
But this
10
is
new
also
dungeons,
Dungeon
and
Finder,
7 new raids.
right?
And
Introduction.
speaking of those raids, Cataclysm had a hugely varied opening tiers of raiding, including Bastion of Twilight, where after defeating our 2-headed mage Cho'Gall, a surprise appearance from Sinestra awaits. Later, we will venture into Firelands, soaring through rings of fire against Alice Razor, and seeing Ragnaros take his first baby steps. They grow up so quickly. This is just some of what we know,
Oh, God.
but what are we bringing new to Classic? What's new for Cataclysm
Yeah,
Classic?
please.
We have seen a ton of positive feedback in the community around the new Titan Rune dungeon system in Grad, or as you might know it as Heroic Plus, allowing you new deterministic opportunities to gear up. So we're excited to bring the spirit of those forwards into Cataclysm, for you to experience these new takes on Cataclysm
I
dungeons.
haven't done any
We will be making updates to the guild advancement system
classic stuff, so I have
introduced
no
in
idea what
Cataclysm.
Dungeon
We want to
Heroic
ensure
Plus is.
that guilds that are on the smaller side are not left behind. In past years, we heard from you about wanting to have collections UI in Classic. So we're happy to have introduced that in our final patch of Grad. And now transmogs will live in it too, and they're gonna be account-wide. So get all those alts together and get all that gear. Classic gives us the opportunity to revisit the cadence at which we release content and patches. I think we all know when a patch has overstayed its welcome, which is why we're excited to announce that Cata Classic will be experienced at a faster rate, faster than the original. And with that, we're also making changes to the leveling speed for new characters to get to level 80.
Okay.
But these are just some of the changes that are coming to Cataclysm Classic. We also have other topics of discussion in the team. But as we said, WoW Classic started as a love letter to the community. And we continue to look to you and you to provide great feedback. So if you're here at Blizzcon, please swing back the Darkmoon Fair that is over there. There's a mailbox where you can submit any questions you have. And for those of you at home, talking to you, there's going to be open threads in all the WoW forums in every region, and we look forward for your thoughts about all things Classic. Thank you again for taking this journey with us as we venture forward into our mysterious future. Speaking of the amazing contributions from the community, let's talk about hardcore. Yeah, hardcore.
Okay.
Very impressive.
I need to speed her up because I'm getting
really
bored.
impressive.
I'm getting bored.
But, okay, who here has died before level 60 in hardcore? Yeah. Me too. You and I, my friends, that has happened. But in fact, you're not alone. Yeah.
Oof.
You have joined the graveyard alongside all these characters, including those unfortunate hunters. So,
All
here are updated
those
stats from end of
hunters.
last month.
Good lord.
And for Net's information of data here, I do not have a data table for this, but let's take a look at some reenactments of the 3 most common environmental deaths in hardcore. So who else was looting that final mob and forgot to take a look at their breath meter? Or maybe you were too busy typing in the chat in Ironforge and became one with the Great Forge.
Yikes.
Or you misjudged the distance
Oh, no,
and gravity gave you a moral
don't.
reminder. I've been there. Yeah, I mean, these are some dumb ways to die, but on the opposite side, there are so much more heroic ways to die. And we have been super excited to see how players have engaged with our new feature, Duel to the Death, Mokura. Yeah, we're very impressed by the community events and all the players that have been brave enough to participate in them. It takes a lot. But as Colin mentioned earlier today, we have a new optional rule set coming to hardcore. So we're excited to officially announce that Self-Found will be coming to hardcore in early 2024. Yeah.
Self-found?
Players that opt into this mode won't be able to trade, use the mail, or use the action house until you reach max level. We hope that you join us to take on this new challenge. So yeah, on behalf of the Classic team, Thank you so much for joining us on the classic journey so far, and we can't wait to see you back in Azeroth.
Self-found.
So now, I know everybody wants to hear more about the Season of Discovery, so I'm
Yes,
gonna bring
please.
in, my senior producer, Josh Greenfield. Thank you.
I'm keeping him for now on 1.5.
Wow, look at this crowd. Hello, BlizzCon. My name's Josh Greenfield, and I'm the senior game producer on WoW Classic. I'm here to talk to you today about our new season for Classic World of Warcraft, Season of Discovery. Today, I'm going to give you an introduction and an overview of what our season is at a very high level, as well as giving you an idea of what our major features are. After this overview, I'm going to hand things off to a few other Classic team members to dig into some specifics about what I'm going to cover. So let's go ahead and jump in. So it seems fitting to start off talking about discoveries. It's in the name, after all, so it seems pretty important to the season. When you first start a character in Season of Discovery, it'll look and feel identical to original World of Warcraft. You'll slay kobolds, you'll give lazy peons a bonk, all the kind of normal things you do when starting fresh in World of Warcraft. When you get to around level 2, however, in the starter zone, your class trainer will offer you a new quest, and this is to go find your first rune. We'll talk about runes in a little bit more in a minute, but after that intro quest, the game simply tells you, go find more. And that's kind of where discoveries come in. Discoveries are essentially secrets hidden throughout the game world. They usually aren't quests in the traditional sense. There's nothing on your map to show them to you. This is Classic after all. And some may be as simple as a treasure coffer deep in a kobold mine, but many are small events kind of unto themselves, oftentimes requiring more than one player, a little bit of creativity, or some keen observation skills to obtain. One of the things we love about Azeroth is the sense of awe and wonder it inspires. It's a massive world. But due to the kind of solved nature of original WoW, it can sometimes feel a lot smaller than it did when we first started our adventures. Discoveries are a way to disrupt that a bit. Keep the world familiar, comfortable, but add enough new things to find to evoke that sense of adventure and exploration we first felt when we stepped foot in Azeroth. Beyond the next hill, deep in the next crypt or cave, something exciting could be hidden. One other thing we love about Discoveries is this social and information sharing aspect. For those first few weeks of each phase, we hope to find secret finding communities pop up, both in and out of game, as players scour Azeroth to find all these little hidden things. We can't wait to read general chat as players begin sharing what they found with each other in real time. We think that social and info sharing aspect is super exciting, and we can't wait to see how long it takes for all these little secrets to be found. In order to preserve this sense of discovery, we will not be holding a public beta or PTR for Season of Discovery.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, that I can somewhat understand.
We want day one of Season of Discovery to feel as fresh and full of surprises as we can. So we're taking a chance here to keep those first few weeks as exciting as possible. The last thing we'll say about Discoveries now is that we wanted to craft them in a way that really felt at home in original WoW. Many times when playtesting amongst ourselves, we'd find a new NPC or an object, and someone would hesitate and say, like, is this from 2004? Is this new? And we're like, yeah, it's new. That's new to the season. And to us, that's a great success. The idea here is that these things feel as like a natural part of Azeroth as it was at this point in WoW's history.
Okay.
Next, let's talk a little bit about level-banded content phases and what that means. In essence, level-banded content phases are how we're going to approach the level-up journey in Season of Discovery. When we initially launch, the level cap in Season of Discovery will be level 25. After a number of weeks, the level cap will increase to a higher level for the next phase. So why a level cap of 25 to start with? Well, our inspiration for this actually came from the WoW Classic beta in 2019. We saw how much fun the game was when the level was capped at a lower level, and how players would find new and exciting talent and item combinations to optimize around. And this is something we've always looked back fondly on, and it's something we've wanted to sort of explore ever since. We also realized how approachable an initial lower level cap could be. We talk a lot internally about approachability on WoW Classic and respecting players' time. There's a major goal of this level-banded approach to really give you a chance to get into it. One of the things we really consistently see on forums or social media too is it too late to start? And oftentimes we'll hear this literally within a day or two of a new release. And obviously, it's never too late to start playing Classic WoW. But as we've all grown into additional responsibilities and found ourselves spending maybe a little less time playing games that we used to, we can definitely feel that sense of kind of fear of missing out, or FOMO, when we log in after a long week and see our friends 10 or 20 levels ahead of us. And for that, this level-banded approach is perfect. There will be plenty to do in each new leveling journey, from the quests and dungeons and battlegrounds we all know and love, to finding all the brand new things to discover across Azeroth. And then later on, leveling new alts to find all of their hidden discoveries as well. There's lots to do, but we're hoping that you won't ever feel that sense of being behind just because you couldn't play on a given day. We also plan to give a very sizable experience boost to the previous level band every time we raise the level cap. This is kind of similar to Joy's Journeys and Wrath Classic, if you're familiar with that. So even if you miss a phase or want to level an alt, you'll be able to catch up to your friends in no time. So the next thing we want to talk about is in-game at level cap. So when we kind of decided on this level-banded content approach, we had to kind of sit down and ask ourselves, what is in-game when the level cap is 25? And first, I think it makes sense to talk a little bit about our inspiration. And this is something we really keep coming back to a lot on Classic. Since this is a version of original WoW, we wanted to start out grounded in familiar locations and put the focus for the new stuff on fresh gameplay and mechanics in those iconic dungeons and locales. To that end, our first raid in Season of Discovery will be the iconic dungeon, Black Fathom Deeps, reimagined as a 10-player raid instance.
Oh. Okay. I didn't realize it's Black Fathom Deeps.
Is to ensure that these are fully featured, deep, satisfying raids, and not simply the addition of a few mechanics to existing encounters as they were in 2004. All of these encounters are a full ground-up redesign and should feel like proper raid encounters. And of course, with new raids comes lots of new loot.
I'm interested in if they.
In addition to raids, we also
put
really want to play up that
set
PvP
items
aspect.
in
And
there
as
as
a result,
well.
we're planning to add several outdoor PvP events to the game as the level caps increase. Thank you. Lastly, one of the things we're most excited about is where we go when we start getting to higher levels. We are leaving the door open to the possibility of completely new experiences and the prospects of exploring previously unfinished or unused locales for future raid and dungeon content. Which I feel
Okay.
I know, I'm excited too. I'm excited too. We think that level 25 is going to be full of great, memorable gameplay that feels right at home in original WoW, but this is just the first step, and we think the best is yet to come. So next, let's kind of change gears and talk about rune engraving a little bit. So this is one of the most exciting new things about Season of Discovery. One of the most consistent pieces of feedback we've gotten from previous iterations of original WoW, such as our Season of Mastery, is that many players would like to try some adjustments to their favorite class or spec. We really wanted to take a chance with Season of Discovery and go kind of wild here, and we did. That's where rune engraving comes in. Rune engraving is a new skill that all Season of Discovery characters know automatically on character creation. Rune engraving allows you to gather, learn, and apply new class abilities directly to your equipment, kind of like enchants. In the initial 1 through 25 experience, you'll be able to discover runes in your chest, legs, and glove slots, and as the level cap increases, additional runes for other item slots will be discoverable over time.
Okay.
Once learned, runes are permanent and can be applied and reapplied to your gear at will, just out of combat. One of the most exciting things about these runes is that they exist completely outside of the talent system, meaning that you could very realistically splash in, damage abilities with a healing talent spec, so you can solo a little bit better, or you could swap maybe to tanking ability runes.
I'm
to round out the
very
tank spot
interested
in your
in
5-player
that.
group if you're missing one. You may also encounter previously faction-specific paladin and shaman buffs as runes, which helps bring some parity to each faction without those classes losing their unique flavor or the factions losing their unique flavor. In order to also streamline the talent system to go along with runes, we do plan to adjust the respec cost to be much more nominal in Season of Discovery, particularly at low levels.
Okay.
And that's not all. That's not all. Who knows? Maybe, just maybe, someday you won't be constrained to just one talent spec in Season of Discovery.
Oh, wow.
So overall, we've been playing this a ton internally. We've been having so much fun with it. It's everything we love about Classic, plus so much more.
A bear out of nowhere.
I'd like to hand this over to one of our lead software engineers, Nora Valletta, to talk about some specific abilities you may encounter on the different classes, as well as to talk a bit about our PvP plans for Season of Discovery. Take it away, Nora.
My attention. He has your attention. Oh, now he's gone. Goddamn. Goddamn.
Thanks, Josh. Hey, BlizzCon. My name's Nora Valletta, and along with Anna,
Okay,
I'm
bye.
the lead software engineer on WoW Classic. There are over 100 runes in the 1 to 25 leveling bracket across all classes, and we'd love for you guys to go forth and discover them on your own. However, to give you an idea of what to expect, I have a few to share with you today. First things first, I want to share some of the things we had in mind when designing runes in Season of Discovery. One is to shake up the meta. Our seasonal content is a great opportunity to deliver WoW Classic with a twist. With our non-seasonal content, we try to deliver a Classic experience close to the original, but with Seasons, we have the freedom to experiment with what-if scenarios, such as, what if rogues could tank? What if paladins did have a taunt? On that point, we wanted to introduce abilities such that each class has something special, something that other classes can point to and go, dang, that's so cool, I wish I could do that. Many of the runes you find are greatest hits remixes of popular abilities from various WoW expansions, so many of them will be familiar to you. That said, some of these familiar abilities may actually behave a little differently than you remember. Some spells and abilities you'll discover have never been introduced before in any WoW expansion. For these, we were careful to make sure they were an appropriate fit for class fantasy. Most importantly, we want Classic to continue to feel like Classic. Many of the iconic spells and abilities you've seen in various WoW expansions feel fitting for that expansion or fitting for modern WoW, but would feel out of place in Classic, so we tried to avoid introducing anything with a too modern feel and made adjustments wherever it made sense. Anyways, enough of that. Let's take a sneak peek at some of those abilities.
Okay.
Druids. In Season of Discovery, you have an interrupt called Skull Bash, which can be used in cat or bear form. Fury of Storm Rage removes the mana cost of Wrath. Dealing damage with Wrath has a chance to make your next healing touch instant.
Interesting.
Wild Growth applies a heal over time effect to your target and up to 5 nearby party members. Hello, Hunters. Beast Mastery will increase your pet's damage, health, and focus regen. Growl is now a proper taunt. Explosive Shot is a ranged damage over time ability, and Lone Wolf gives you a damage boost if you have no active pet. Pair this with dual wielding, and you've got yourself a mean melee hunter.
So far, these are all skills that were introduced later on, which is kind of boring.
Mages. Ice Lance is an instant frost spell that deals triple damage to frozen targets. Living Flame causes flames to erupt and chase a nearby enemy, leaving a burning trail in its wake.
Okay, that's cool.
And Regeneration is a heal, which marks your target with a temporal beacon. Another rune ability called Rewind Time will heal the damage taken over the previous 5 seconds. You can heal other people with this, by the way, not just yourself, so I hope you've made room on your roster for mage healers.
Okay.
Paladins. In WoW Classic, they don't have a taunt, but here it is in Season of Discovery. And the Reckoning is your taunt. Knowing this ability will also increase the threat bonus of Righteous Fury and cause you to gain mana when healed by other players. Crusader Strike is a weapon attack. It's a weapon attack which costs no additional mana and instead regenerates your mana slightly with each hit. And Seal of Martyrdom can be activated to cause melee attacks to strike other nearby targets. You'll lose health when inflicting damage with this. However, nearby party members will gain mana based on the damage you take. Priests. You can channel Penance to heal nearby friendly targets or deal damage to enemy targets. Prayer of Mending heals your target the next time they take damage or receive healing. Afterwards, it'll bounce to another friendly player nearby. Homunculi animates 3 miniature copies of your character, which will attack your target with a mace, a sword, and...
Engage your pants with Homunculi Rune. Break off splinters of your soul to animate 3 miniature copies of yourself that attempt to attack your current target with a mace, sword, and axe, reducing the attack speed, attack power, and armor respectively of any target they hit.
And an axe, reducing their attack speed, attack power, and armor respectively.
Okay.
Rogues. From Stealth, Shadow Strike allows you to teleport behind your target and strike for a nice big chunk of damage. Envenom is a finishing move. It deals poison damage based on your deadly poison doses on the target, and also increases the frequency of applying instant poison for some time afterwards. Just a Flesh Wound is our rogue tank ability. You generate way more threat, you take reduced physical damage while Blade Dance is active.
You take 20% reduced physical damage while Blade Dance is active. Additionally, you have 6% reduced chance to be critically hit by melee attacks. The threat generated by all your actions is massively increased, and your feint ability is replaced with Tease, which taunts the target. Okay.
You're less likely to be critically hit by melee attacks, and your feint ability turns into a taunt called Tease. Shamans. Lava Lash deals offhand weapon damage. Offhand. In Season of Discovery, enhancement shamans can dual wield with the help of another rune, not pictured here. Happy hunting. Healing Rain is a gradual AoE heal which can be placed on the ground, or on a lamppost, or on the ceiling. Way of Earth allows you to perform the coveted role of Shaman Tank.
While Rock Biter weapon is active on your main hand weapon, you deal 100% increased threat, gain 30% increased health, and take 10% reduced damage. Gain 6% reduced chance to be critical hit by melee attacks, and Earth Shock taunts targets to attack you, and has a separate cooldown from other shock spells. Nice.
With this, you'll deal increased threat, you'll take less damage, and Earth Shock becomes your taunt. Warlocks. Haunt deals damage, increases all shadow damage you deal to the target, and heals you for the damage it dealt once it's dispelled or expires. Chaos Bolt sends a big beefy bolt of fire at the enemy. It always hits, it can't be resisted, and it causes all of your fire spells to pierce through absorption effects. And Metamorphosis. This is your shapeshift, allowing you to transform into a demon, similar to a druid's bear form, increasing your armor and reducing your chance to be critically hit. Searing Pain becomes instant, Shadow Bolt becomes a melee cleave, and Curse of Righteousness is your taunt. Warriors.
Would be cool if those were
after killing an enemy. It will heal you for
not
30%
class
of your
specific,
health.
you know.
Devastate will cause your Sunder Armor to deal main hand weapon damage, increased for each stack of Sunder Armor already on the target. And Raging Blow is a vicious strike that deals heavy damage, but can only be used while enraged. Now this is just a taste of all the abilities coming to classes in Season of Discovery. And really, bottom line, we want everyone to feel OP. Anyways, enough about runes. Let's instead turn our attention to the ancient forest of Ashenvale in northern Kalimdor. Ashenvale is known for its beauty, its rich natural resources, and its role as a hotly contested territory between the Horde and the Alliance.
I thought you were gonna say something about me looking at Classic.
During this event, a leader will appear in the zone for each faction, Farseer for the Horde, and Priestess of the Moon for the Alliance. Your objective is simple. It's to defeat the enemy leader. Now this is easier said than done. These leaders are tough, so you'll have to work together to take them out. In addition to the main camps where those faction leaders reside, various other camps will spawn across the zone for each faction.
Okay, I feel like
the Moon and the Farseer are each buffed by respective leaders in those smaller camps. The more of those small camps you can take
I don't
out,
care for the rest.
Your enemy's faction leader will become. Sounds
Playing
familiar,
together
much like Track Valley. This event is an awesome way to earn honor, as well as reputation with Warsong Gulch factions, which allows you to unlock.
Now, on the Classic team, we couldn't help but ask ourselves,
oh, that's
could this
just
amazing
more of the
location be more than
PvP
just a
stuff.
5-player dungeon? So we're excited. Get your level 25 Prebus, equip your runes, find 9 of your best friends, and get ready. Let's be behind the curtain at what challenges await players in Black Island.
Okay, that's the
or as we
raid.
affectionately call it BFD, not to be confused with BR.
That I care. Acolyte of the Void Pearl, Trinket, Shadow Resistance. Shadow Resistance. Invoker's Void Pearl. Increase the healing done by spells and effects up to 15. Increase damage and healing done by magical spells. Okay, it's the same thing, but for different classes. That
now,
sort
telling you
looks
all
nice.
this is great, but I think we'd rather just show you. So it is my pleasure to provide a quick sneak peek video of the raid, edited by the team itself, as though it was pulled straight from a community website in 2005. Please take a look.
Okay. Alright.
Well, that's it for today, guys. We're looking forward to...
Lonesome, so you're a WoW player. What do you say about the Season of Discovery? And what do you say about... I've only watched so far, I've only watched the introduction. And then I was interested in the Season of Discovery. You don't know? Have you not watched it? Oh, you haven't watched the Season of Discovery yourself. I have to say, I am most interested. Apparently Shaman Tank. Yeah, they where was it? What's next? Classic. So we have for the Season of Discovery. They want to... No, Cataclysm. Where was he?
First,
Season
to
of
dig into
Discovery?
some
Okay,
specifics about what I'm going to cover. So let's go ahead and jump in. So it seems fitting to start off talking about discoveries. It's in the name after all, so it seems pretty important to the season. When you first start a character in Season of Discovery, it'll look and feel
I think
identical
that
to
is
original World of
extremely
Warcraft.
interesting.
You'll slay kobolds, you'll give lazy peons a bonk, all the kind of normal things you do
As a
inside
10-man
Fetch and World of
raid,
Warcraft.
yeah.
When you get to around level 2, however, in the starter zone...
So you basically start, okay, I gotta take a quick break. I gotta pee. I'm sorry. Add oil? What? Add time. Okay, I gotta pee. Perfect timing. It was a freaking duck face, like... Technically doesn't need much explanation, but that one needs. So the build is basically... me using Whirlwind, running around, and applying Rend. And with my set, you know, Rend has more damage, Whirlwind does more damage, or increases my damage, and then Whirlwind and Rend damage is increased again. But with all of the things, I can stack Rend twice. Rend deals its full damage instead of, you know, over a certain amount. It makes it instantaneously with this one, I think. Attacking, no, that applies Rend. And it deals the damage over 1 second. Okay, yeah. You can put a hole in my shoe. I am telling you, these trees are having it out for me. Look at this bullshit. Look at this. What is this? I'm telling you, they actually have it out for me. Hit me, baby, one more time.
There, that is it. I'm gonna die now. I wanted
No,
to
please
listen to
don't.
the whole thing, but
Please don't clip
I
that.
I didn't learn her monologue.
Oh. Oh, that's fucking amazing. That's fucking amazing. So what were you playing? I can't. So might as well just get into it. Might as well just get into it. My hands are shaking. Okay. Are we back? Are we back? Ugh, I ran like hell. I ran like hell. Doing okay. Okay, so we are back, I hope. Just came back home. Nice.
Your class training will offer you a new quest, and this is to go find your first rune.
So yeah, it's basically you start off normal character.
You for real?
Thank you, Captain. Just now, like, I've avoided as much as possible. I've seen some spoilers in thumbnails, but other than that, I have stayed away from at least the WoW stuff. I've watched some of the Overwatch stuff because the character was leaked anyways by Blizzard. Or teased. But so far, from the WoW stuff, like the retail WoW stuff, I'm not impressed. At all. I'm actively worried. On Overwatch my way. I've played him a little bit on the weekend. He doesn't feel like a tank. He does not feel like a tank. Like, he has no mitigation, you know, for the team. It's gonna be tough for them, but we're gonna watch that later on anyways.
But after that,
but this is what I'm actually interested in.
And that's kind of where discoveries come in. Discoveries are essentially secrets hidden throughout the game world. They usually aren't quests in the traditional sense. There's nothing on your map to show them to you. This is classic after all. And some may be as simple as a treasure coffer deep in a cobalt mine, but many are small events kind of unto themselves. Oftentimes require more than one player, a little bit of creativity, or some keen observation skills to obtain. One of the things we love about Azeroth is the sense of awe and wonder it inspires. It's a massive world. But due to the kind of solved nature of original WoW, it can sometimes feel a lot smaller than it did when we first started our adventures. Discoveries are a way to disrupt that a bit. Keep the world familiar, comfortable, but add enough new things to evoke that sense of adventure and exploration we first felt when we stepped foot in Azeroth. Beyond the next hill, deep in the next crypt or cave, something exciting could be hidden. One other thing we love about Discoveries is this social and information sharing aspect. For those first few weeks of each phase, we hope to find secret finding communities pop up, both in and out of game, as players scour Azeroth to find all these little hidden things. We can't wait to read as players begin sharing what they found with each other in real time.
Of course.
We think that social and info sharing aspect is super exciting, and we can't wait to see how long it takes for all these little secrets to be found. In order to preserve this sense of discovery, we will not be holding a public beta or PTR for Season of Discovery. Thank you, yeah. We want day one of Season of Discovery to feel as fresh and full of surprises as we can. So we're taking a chance here to keep those first few weeks as exciting as possible.
2 weeks more to be found, seriously.
Now is that we wanted to craft them in a way that really felt at home in original WoW. Many times when playtesting amongst ourselves, we'd find a new NPC or an object, and someone would hesitate and say, like, is this from 2004? Is this new? And we're like, yeah, it's new. Like, that's new.
I wish there wasn't any class
The idea here is that
ones.
these things feel as like a natural part of Azeroth as it was at this point in.
So, if you don't know, there is this thing called Project Ascension, which I'm a huge fan of. I'm a very huge fan of. Which is basically classless WoW. So you create a character, and that you don't choose a class, regardless of which race you choose. Your character is gonna be the hero class. And you have every single skill tree to your disposal. You choose which skill points you take, making your own class, basically. So you can be like the hot master and take every single hot in the game. Like, for example, rejuvenation from druids. Wait, isn't it also called rejuvenation from priests? I don't know. The priest hot, all the druids hots, the shaman hot, you know, the spring water bullshit thing. Just take all the hots and just hot everybody. You can do that. There are so many things you can actually make. What I made was, like, that was years ago now. I made a holy caster, like an actual disciplined priest, but with paladin skills, because paladins and priests were the only one who had holy damage, right? So you had holy damage increased on both sides, and that would just give you like, I think it was like 40% increased holy damage in total, which is fucking amazing. Oh yeah, dot mastery. You could absolutely, and hey logical, you could absolutely, you know, be a shadow priest doing, you know, with shadow damage, and your shadow form increasing the shadow damage, and then taking haunt and corruption and whatever from the warlock stuff. I really love that, because you can just, you know, make your own class basically. And I was hoping that this is gonna be that. Sadly, they have class specific buffs, and it seems like majority of the class of the glyphs are skills that were just added later on in the game. Like explosive shot, that was not in vanilla WoW. That came in Wrath, I think. Like, yeah, it's cool to have that in Classic, but at the same time, like you know.
WoW's history.
But I hope
Next,
that there
let's talk a little
are
bit about level-banded content phases
some
and what that means. In essence,
things
level-banded
that
content
are
phases are how we're going to approach the level-up journey in Season of Discovery. When we
not
initially
dependent
launch,
on
the level
class.
cap in Season of Discovery will be level 25. After a number of
I
weeks,
hope.
the level cap will increase to a higher level for the next phase. So, why a level cap of 25 to start with? Well, our inspiration for this actually came from the WoW Classic beta in 2019. We saw how much fun the game was when the level was capped at a lower level, and how players would find new and exciting talent.
But yeah, that's the
we really wanted to take a chance with Season of Discovery and go kind of wild here, and we did. That's where rune engraving comes in. Rune engraving is a new skill that all Season of Discovery characters know automatically on character creation. Rune engraving allows you to gather, learn, and apply new class abilities directly to your equipment.
I love the Hoggerade.
In the initial 1 through 25 experience, you'll be able to discover runes in your chest, legs, and glove slots. And as the level cap increases, additional runes for other item slots will be
They
discoverable
can do
over time.
world bosses,
Once learned,
just,
runes are
you know,
permanent
hog
and can be
up as a
applied and
world
reapplied
boss.
to your gear at will, just out of combat. One of the most exciting things about these runes is that they exist completely outside of the talent system, meaning that you could very realistically splash in, damage abilities with a healing talent spec, so you can solo a little bit better, or you could swap maybe to tanking ability runes to round out the tank spot in your 5-player group if you're missing one. You may also encounter previously faction-specific paladin and shaman buffs as runes, which helps bring some parity to each faction without those classes losing their unique flavor or the factions losing their unique flavor. In order to also streamline the talent system to go along with runes, we do plan to adjust the respec cost to be much more nominal in Season of Discovery, particularly at low levels. And that's not all. Who knows, maybe, just maybe, someday, you won't be constrained to just one talent spec in Season of Discovery. Who knows? Overall...
So that's that. I'm very excited for that. I've watched the thing. Let's go free specking. Woo! That's what we went for. So I've watched the introduction for World of Warcraft. I have to say I'm not a huge fan of the War Within. The cinematic, I hope that the cinematic was the introduction for the saga, right? For the World Soul saga, and not for the War Within. That wasn't the cinematic for the game. Because if you have in mind the trailers that are on the list for the expansion trailers, you have the original, with the dwarf hunter coming out, and Tauren, and that just epic, right? And then you have the you're not prepared. You have Arthas Menethil resurrecting Syndragosa. All those epic, really epic cinematics. And, last but not least, the Dragonflight cinematic with Alexstrasza. And so I hope that is not the expansion trailer, and it's just the trailer for the saga, for the beginning of the saga, because it wouldn't fit in at all. It's a good cinematic. It's not an expansion cinematic, though. So,
First presentation, World of Warcraft, what's next?
What's next? We need to speed this up because we don't have all day, okay? We don't have all day. Well, I do technically, but I don't want to take it all day, you know?
4 years have passed.
Yeah,
since the mortal
animation-wise,
races
it's
gathered together
perfection.
in Anaheim, California.
I actually cried some. And
now,
some.
The drums of Blizzcon thunder once again. Let me hear the thunder! Yes!
Poor Anduin. Poor Anduin.
Thank you for being here with us today. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the World of Warcraft What's Next panel. My name is Taryn Gregory, and as you may have heard, as you may have heard from Chris during the opening ceremonies, we are at the dawn of a new era of Warcraft. The World Soul
Not
Saga.
really.
A story that will play out over the next 3 expansions and will take us on an adventure.
Okay. Another thing that I said earlier, and Lonesome you probably missed, I hate this expansion, this saga already. I hate it already because it's more old god shit. We have yet to have an expansion in World of Warcraft where there's nothing to do with old gods. Every single fucking expansion we've had, even the main game, Vanilla WoW, had to do with the old gods in some way, shape, or form. And I'm getting sick and tired of this. It's the same, oh my god, this person was corrupted by the old gods, oh my god, oops, what can we do? Let's kill an old god. It's the same shit over and over and over. At the classic, and you kill Gahoon. In classic, you kill Gahoon. In Outlands, you kill Jaden, who's been, corrupted by the old gods. In Wrath of the Lich King, you kill Yogg-Saron. In what came after Cataclysm, you kill Deathwing, who was corrupted by the old gods. Mist of Pandaria, you kill Garrosh, who consumed the heart of an old god and got corrupted. Oh my god. What came after Mists? Walls of Draenor? Was that? Yeah, it was after. Yeah. Draenor, yeah, I like to blank that one out. But we have to go back to Draenor. Draenor, the world that has been infected with the old gods. With not Kil'jaeden. Was it Kil'jaeden? Whatever. Anyways, the Draenei's who have been persecuted by a corrupted old god. More old god stuff. Bullshit. What came after Draenor? Battle for Azeroth, right? After Draenor was Battle for Azeroth. Right? Legion! Don't have to say anything about that. Legion is basically just corrupted Titan. It's just a corrupted Titan by the old gods. Then came Battle for Azeroth, which we first thought was not gonna have any tentacles, but then it turned out did have a lot of tentacles. So more old god shit. And now we're in Dragonflight, which we're dealing with more old god shit because of Neltharion. So, we have yet to have an expansion in World of Warcraft that does not deal with any type of old god shenanigans. We have yet to have that. And I'm sorry, we going down with Zelatas, the thing we don't know what it is, why she got imprisoned into a fucking dagger, we don't know. She might as well be part of an old god. Why is she going down where the blood of the old god lies, corrupting the world soul? Why is she going down there? Like she's a being of void. Why is she going down there? If not to resurrect, maybe? an old god. Yeah. So I'm getting sick and tired of Blizzard's, oh, we're gonna do this new shit. It's an old god. We're gonna do new shit. Old god. New shit. Old god. New shit. Old god. I'm getting so fucking tired of old god shit. Like, do you have any other stories? I was excited. I was really excited for Dragonflight. And when it turned out to be just dealing with old god shit, I got sick of it. Like, as soon as we got into Zerla Caverns and Rathian and Sibelian were starting acting crazy because they were getting, infected with the old god minds, I was like, I'm out. I literally stopped with Zerla, the Caverns expansion patch bullshit. I stopped playing because I didn't care anymore. Because it's been shit we've already known. Like, give us some new story. I hope that with these 3 expansions, they're gonna finally finish that fucking storyline with the old gods. I doubt it, because for some reason they cannot think of any other storyline other than go old god shit. So, I don't know.
World of Warcraft like we've never experienced before. This saga
I'm
kicks off
actively
War Within.
angry at Blizzard
In this
for
first
this
chapter, our heroes will be called on an expedition to the subterranean depths of Azeroth, revealing a new world full of mystery, wonder, and darkness. There we will confront the shadows below and face new challenges on the battlefield as well as in ourselves. So what is next?
Would you say it's
During
void
this section, I'll share an overview of the story of the War
darkness?
Within, and then next you'll hear from Maria Hamilton, who will speak to zones and cultures, and then wrapping up with Morgan Day, who will talk about dungeons, the raid, and our new system.
We have the story and setting at first. If I hear anything old god, we're switching to Overwatch.
We'll talk about dungeons, the raid, and our new systems. Let's dig in. In our cinematic reveal, did you guys enjoy the cinematic?
Boring.
Big shout
cool,
out to the cinematic
but boring.
team who work on that. It's just incredible work. We witnessed as Thrall found Anduin Wrynn, who has been wandering alone for the last few years, grappling, lost in his own thoughts, and dealing with the experience that he's been through, as many of you may have remembered.
Dealing with whispers
Throughout
of
this
the
and our visual
void.
trailer, we learned 2 very important developments, starting with these visions. Thrall spoke of a vision calling out from the heart of the world, like a voice from a dream. This radiant song will compel our heroes to investigate its origins, and while at the same time, a darkness has been gathering. Even as the heroes adventured on the Dragon Isles, and in the War Within, the mysterious harbinger that Iridikron spoke of will reveal themselves. Xal'atath has returned. Freed long ago from the black blade that once bound her, she is now the harbinger of a new era of the Void's dark machinations, and her message is clear. The Black Empire has fallen. The old gods are dead, and their ancient blood runs deep within the cracks of the world. We, the heroes of Azeroth, destroyed them.
More Azeroth bombing.
Time and again, they are among the most.
I wish by the end, because we have a world soul in Azeroth is the last world soul, right? The uncorrupted world soul. I hope at the end of these 3 expansion bullshit, we're gonna kill all the Titans. I hope we're gonna kill all of them. Now, the Void people are dead, somewhat. They're gonna go back to their plane of existence and then come back a couple years.
Powerful armies that have ever stood.
I just want to kill the Order people. They're boring.
While the Black Empire failed, Xal'atath now seeks to set in motion the rise of a new dark legacy, one that knows our true strength and will seek to test it against a new.
Okay, Black Empire has fallen. The old gods are dead. We the heroes destroyed them. The Harbinger has watched us. A new darkness rises, which is her. One that knows our strengths, which is her. So, the issue I'm having with Xal'atath is we don't know what the fuck she is. We do not know what Xal'atath is. Period. Why was she imprisoned? We don't know. Who is she serving? We don't know. Is she a void elf, though? We don't know. She appears like one. She appears like a void elf. Could be an illusion. An illusion! What are you hiding? Xelatath could very well be some residue of an old god. Be like Yogg-Sarosh's memories sealed away. Absolutely possible. We don't know. She might as well be an old god. Or part of an old god. We have no fucking idea.
New threat of terrible power.
Because she was also whispering. Like, if you were a Shadow Priest, like I was, in Legion, she was constantly whispering to you. Like, someone else has been. I don't remember which god it was. But there is another god who's been constantly whispering through a fucking box. So, it is absolutely possible she is part of an old god.
The Nerubians of Ashkahet. Xalatath has conscripted the Nerubian queen Ansarek, having offered her people a new future, one in which they will rise from their isolation as a mighty kingdom once again.
Wouldn't be the
And here
first
in the
old god
sprawling
to
city of Ashkahet,
use
we will not find the undead soldiers of the Lich King we faced
Nerubians.
before, but instead a new mighty stronghold of the Nerubians as they once were, deadly survivors of the mythic wars that have played out time and again over thousands of years. In return for their loyalty, Xalatath has granted the Nerubians the means of a dark evolution, one that will turn the Nerubians into a new kind of ferocious and terrifying soldier that we will clash against, time and again, in the war within. Now let's talk about who we'll be adventuring with. How do you like the key art?
Because that is Alaria, Anduin, and Thrall. Why don't we have a second one on the Horde side? Why not? Why don't we have a second one on the Horde side?
Several of Azeroth's greatest heroes will rise to the call of the Radiant
And why is
Sun,
it
and many will
Thrall?
be faced with their own
I mean,
unique
yeah, he
challenges.
has to do with Earth, but
Anduin,
still.
having survived his ordeal with domination. Yes, look at the art. Oh, incredible artwork. Anduin will be grappling with his relationship to the holy light that he no longer feels worthy of, while Thrall is seeking a connection to these visions, spreading across the world and working to find his new place in the Horde. While Magni Bronzebeard, long the Speaker of Azeroth, will
Another
confront
one
heavy
of
weight
the
that
Alliance.
responsibility once and for all. Champion! The wounds champion!
Oh, God. Alaria doesn't really belong to that.
We're intellectuals, you know.
She's an allied race person, technically speaking. And thank you, Estefania. Thank you for the follow.
Features trailer, Alaria Windrunner.
Oh, she's got a new stuff. A new look.
Alaria's journey will be central to the events of the themes of the War
She's
Within,
more
but
blonde
she,
now.
the Void Hunter, will use all of her prowess to hunt down the Harbinger while being torn between her own nature and the maddening call of the Void to which she is attuned. Along the adventure, she will have a unique rivalry with Xalatath. whose
By the
twists
way,
and turns-
if you don't know, uno momento, por favor. Fuck. If you don't know, in the book Before the Storm, you know, the book coming out prior to Battle for Azeroth, there is an entire chapter. So before all that shit happened with Anduin getting deep-fisted by the jailer, he has had issues with the light. He's been hearing whisperings. Which, you know, for a priest, somebody with holy abilities, you know, is not the greatest thing to hear whisperings of the void. It's not great. So he has had issues for years now with the void. And him now not feeling worthy to wield the light maybe puts him more to the void. Making him more susceptible again. So yeah. I don't know. I don't know.
Of course, we'll see many more familiar faces on our journey and meet a host of new and interesting characters along the way that Maria's going to tell you more about in just a moment. But finally, this saga is only just beginning. Conceived to be... Yes! Conceived to be an epic worthy of the first 20 years of World of Warcraft, the World Soul Saga aims to redefine the storytelling in our expansion set and strike boldly at the core themes that define Warcraft. The might of heroes, the responsibility of that power, the pursuit of justice.
He just respect and didn't notice, basically,
and
yeah.
the importance of finding common ground as well as ourselves amidst adversity. Up next, may I introduce Maria Hamilton, who will be sharing more about our zone.
He used to be
and cultures in the
disciplined
world of
priest,
Thank you
now he's just Shadow. Now he's just Shadow.
Hello, Blizzcon.
Hello.
Wow, I'm so excited to be here and delighted to represent our team and tell you about the places that we will explore and the cultures we will encounter in the war within. I can't really see all of you out there. I know there's a lot of you, though, because I can hear you. And I hope to hear lots of oohs and ahs when you see some of this cool art I've got to show you.
Okay.
So let's get started. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Okay, as Taryn mentioned earlier, we'll be called by the Radiant Song, dreamlike visions that come from the heart of the Azeroth. This summons is going to lead us to
next to
the subcontinent
Pandaria.
of Azalgar, a place long forgotten.
You know what is also in Pandaria? The burial ground of one of the old gods. You know, where Hellscream got the heart out of. That's also right there. I don't remember exactly where. I think, wasn't it in Kunlai Summit? So it's right there, and it's not that far off.
It's only through recent explorations in Oldemon that we've discovered a Watcher report concerning a contingent of Earthen that was sent to this place long, long ago to investigate a fissure in the sector. What exactly that means, we don't really know, but we could probably speculate. So first, let's talk about the Earthen. Ooh, there you go, there you go. All right, we have met Titanforged Earthen before, of course, in Ulduar and other places. But this society of Earthen has been isolated within Khazalgar for a really long time and have developed their own manners and customs. Now, visually, these Earthen are a bit larger in stature.
I like
and
the
they're noticeably
spikies.
blinged out. They've got gems all over them, bedazzled, blinged out, that kind of thing,
Bedazzled,
right?
hell
But
yeah.
philosophically, they are guided by the Edicts of the Titans, a set of codified orders, duties, and expectations
Unbound,
that provide
oath-sworn
instructions for the core
machine
functions of their
speakers.
society. Titans, order, all that, right? But the Titans have been absent for eons, and the Earthen are no longer united in their adherence to these edicts. They now exist as three groups that are estranged from each other. The Oathsworn, as their name suggests, still uphold the edicts faithfully and believe everyone else is doing it wrong. Their charge is guarding the Core Way, a Titan passageway that leads right to the core of Azeroth. They're primarily the city dwellers. They live conveniently near the object of their responsibility, that Core Way. Now, the Unbound, in contrast, have abandoned the edicts, and they are considered scandalously rebellious by the Oathsworn. Their original responsibility was providing the materials that the Titan installation supplied. And they're primarily rural. They're living in and around the quarries and the mines where natural resources can be acquired. They rarely interact with the city dwellers. They feel neglected and ignored because they have a different opinion on how they should live. Now, the machine speakers have strayed from the edicts in practice, but not with respect to their overall obligation to keep the Titan works functioning.
No clue.
They've had extremely limited contact with the surface dwellers, and they express no little
juicy
disdain
lips.
who just don't understand the great machines.
Okay.
Their homes are built around vast industrial projects under the surface that allow them to perform their functions in accordance with edicts, more or less. These different perspectives among the Earthen and their variable adherence to the Titan's edicts has weakened the society as originally structured. And that's not good, of course. But a much more serious problem is their steadily dwindling numbers. For reasons that I'm not going to get into here and now, new Earthen can't exist until we help them out by doing some things and unite the Earthen society once more. Happily, as a result of our actions, the Earthen will eventually be unlocked as an allied race. Yeah, they look sweet, don't they? Yeah. These
females with beards. I love to see that. I love to see that. That looks so fucking cool. That hairstyle looks cool.
Player Earthen will replenish.
I love the rocks coming out of their shoulders. I'd love to see their full bodies to see where exactly we can have rocks come out. I love that hairstyle too. It looks cool.
The culture's dwindling numbers. and may join either the Horde or the Alliance. Yeah. It is, of course,
Oh,
player's choice
wait.
which side you wish to allow, the Horde or the Alliance.
Okay. Oh, so like
It is, of course,
Pandaren.
player's
Okay.
choice which side you wish to ally
Nice.
with. But as you can see from a small sampling of combinations, there's some fantastic variations and customizations coming for the Earthen models, including different gem incrustations, beards for all body types, rocky skin patterns, tones, and more. Now that golden mohawk with the braids and the fringe beard, that's quite the look. But I really like the beardless guy with the bushy blonde eyebrows. He looks so cool. He's just kind of like, yep, what do you want me to do? So,
What do you want
anyway,
me to do?
all right, moving on. Another cool culture that players will encounter in the War Within is the Arathi.
Arathi.
Yeah, and you probably have questions, right? So these are descendants of the original Arathorian Empire, and they've arrived relatively recently and through some somewhat mysterious circumstances. And they find themselves trapped here within Khazalgar. Mysterious mostly because I can't say anything more about it just yet because of spoilers, but it's not like spooky mysterious, it's the other kind. As a people, the Arathi are worshippers and wielders of holy fire. They are dedicated to bringing hope and light to the darkness. They're tough, resilient people, with every member of the society being an able combatant. Some few are further blessed with paladin-like abilities.
So, we know, thanks to Legion, that the holy light is not always nice. Right? We know that. We know, thanks to the introduction quest line for the Maghar orcs to the Horde, that the light can be extremely tyrannical. So the light being there being just a bastion of the light down there to fight the void. I don't like that. I don't like that. I feel like there is not a big difference between the light and the void, you know? I feel like there isn't a difference. Because why would priests be able to channel the void and the light, right? Like why? So in my opinion, the void and the light are one and the same. And it's just depending on how you look at it.
By sacred flame. The extent to which they're comfortable in battle is probably a good thing, because they've established a home away from home in an enormous cavern bordered by an endless underground sea, from which terrifying creatures emerge to rampage and create havoc. Not my idea of a cool place to hang out, but they're really, really tough. These watery monstrosities, though, are nothing compared to the threat from below. A constant swarm of
are they
Nerubians has been held
nice?
back
Are they
so far from invading the Arathi lands.
enemies?
The assault is unrelenting, the threat is dire, and the Arathi can't hold much longer. These bastions of light against the darkness are far from home and limited in number. Sure would be terrible if there was also division within the Arathi ranks. Just saying. That would be pretty rough, what with them being so outnumbered. We can probably help them.
Okay.
Alright, speaking of the Nerubians in the War Within, we'll explore their last kingdom deep within Khazalgar. These ancient survivors of the Black Empire who rejected their former masters have developed their own culture here in the deep darkness. As Terran mentioned earlier, Xal'atath has made a bargain with the Nerubian queen Anserek, who seeks a new future and renewed glory for her people. The Nerubians are extremely capable and devious adversaries who have been honing their skills with their constant assault on the Arathi. With the Nerubian queen Anserek, deep darkness. As Terran mentioned earlier, Xal'atath has made a bargain with the Nerubian queen Anserek, who seeks a new future and renewed glory for her people. The Nerubians are extremely capable and devious adversaries who have been honing their skills with their constant assault on...
So, Xal'atath is making a deal with Nerubians. Like N'Zoth was making a deal with Alexstrasza. Because that's what it feels like. Are Nerubians all evil? No. No. They're like trolls. They're an ancient civilization. They're not good, evil. They used to be part of the Black Empire, but there has been splinter groups that just deviated from them, right? But I'm extremely worried about Xalatath making a deal with the Queen, just like N'Zoth made a deal with not Alexstrasza, Ajara. I don't like that.
On the Arathi.
I don't like that.
But domination hasn't come fast enough for the Queen's taste, as the Arathi has managed to hold against this onslaught. So this deal with the Harbinger has included some assistance for her troops. Through some dark alchemical process, Xalatath has provided the knowledge required to evolve chosen Nerubians into paragons of their race.
So she's actively transforming the Nerubians, like N'Zoth transformed the elves into Naga. Can we all agree that Xalatath is part old god, is part of an old god? Can we all agree to that? At this point, like, who else has the power of evolution? Like, who else has the power of evolution other than Titans and old gods? Like, we can't just fucking evolve people. Yeah.
Enhancing their viciousness. And Queen Ansarek has embraced these modifications with enthusiasm and eagerly offered her army to achieve the Harbinger's schemes. It appears to be a win-win situation. But not all Nerubians share their sovereign's enthusiasm for change and her embrace of Xalatath. Shadowy figures with far too many limbs maneuver against the Harbinger's plans in opposition to the Queen's desire. As you might expect, any foray into this Nerubian kingdom introduces us to a variety of citizens, including some forms we've never encountered before. Here's a layout of some of the Nerubian models that are completed and also some that are in progress, as well as scale reference for goblins and humans, so you just get a sense of size.
Scale reference of goblins and humans? Since when are humans are goblins that big? No.
There are also domesticated insects who serve the kingdom as beasts of burden and pets.
These goblins look like they're
Carapai? I don't know, whichever. Skittering legs,
humongous.
grabby arms, piercing spiky bits, and creepy eyes for you to enjoy, I guess. All right, let's talk about our zones. The surface of Khaz-Algar is our first zone, called the Isle of Dorn. This is the home of the earth and surface dwellers, as well as other native species of creatures.
Taurens will have
the
fun with
soil,
this one.
Flowering plant life and generous waterways provide.
Oh god, Taurens will love this zone. Shout out to all the Tauren player. I'm sorry already. I'm sorry already. You'll never fit through any door here. I'm so fucking sorry.
Paradise. An important facet of Earthen society is cinder brew mead. This volatile substance is manufactured from molten honey produced by enormous fiery bees. Their home groves are a remarkable sight, as the hearts of the trees themselves glow with lava-like fluid. Harvesting is always an exciting time, as the ferocious creatures are understandably protective of their hives. Now, the roosts at Storm Watch are wreathed with lightning and fierce winds. These wild elemental rooks may choose to serve a member of the Oathsworn, who, if so blessed, becomes a Storm Rider, one of the guardian warriors of the Earthen people. The Unbound deal with hostile creatures from time to time, but for their most part, the existence is relatively peaceful, fairly sort of peaceful. Their comfortable homes are often situated near the places where they once labored as adherents to the edicts. Those sites are now in disrepair, and in some cases, the lair of other creatures. Of course, the Isle of Dorn boasts a great walled city where the Oathsworn live and serve the edicts of the Titans. The city of Dornagal
I love
is
that the Horde is getting dwarves, you know. Like, all I'm taking away from this is, I love that the Horde is getting dwarves.
As well as the Titan Causeway, the defense of which is the Oathsworn's primary charge. Now, beneath the surface of the Isle of Dorn lies our second zone, the Ringing Deeps. As the name suggests, it is here that the Earthen are engaged in their work in accordance with the edicts.
I think I said Raging Deeps or something earlier.
Huge, complicated machines,
because I'm fucking bad at reading.
And waterworks, both to cool and to power huge machinery. Maintaining these Titan mechanisms and keeping everything running is both the responsibility and the passion of the machine speakers. The Earth has shifted too in places, revealing openings to the sky above to the Isle of Dorn. These cenotes bring light and water into areas once shrouded in darkness. Abundant greenery, flowers, and creatures that do not typically bring light and water into areas.
What is that?
Is once shrouded in darkness.
What the fuck is that?
Abundant greenery, flowers, and creatures that do not typically dwell in caverns may be found in these idyllic spots.
Oh.
It was really important to us as developers.
They're expanding on kobold factions. Like, we have a little bigger one here, right? Like, these are the normal kobolds, but here we have a little bigger one, and there seems to be a flying one.
Abundant greenery.
Or is there something in front of it?
These cenotes bring light and water. into areas once shrouded in darkness.
That thing looks like it's flying.
Abundant greenery, flowers, and creatures that do not typically dwell in caverns may be found in these idyllic
Interesting.
spots. It was really important to us as developers that we delivered the fantasy of the hard-working industry, but still had some breakout
I love
areas
that. I love
of
expanding
natural beauty that don't feel
existing,
like dark, constrained tunnels. Now, as the
existing
machine speaker
factions.
population has dropped, they've had increasing difficulties with kobold incursions, and indeed the kobolds have taken over the mines, the work areas. They've even built a city of their own. Unexpectedly, the kobolds are actually becoming a force to be reckoned with under the aggressive actions of their leader, the Candle King.
The
We knew it had to be
Candle
a
King. The
No take
Candle
candle.
King. No take candle. No take
With the
candle.
passage of time, the Earthen have diminished both in number and in the knowledge required to perform the various routines to tune and repair the processes. The old ways have been forgotten, and new creative methods must be employed if the edicts are to be obeyed. So they're kind of making it up as they go along. From the
You
ringing
don't take
deeps,
candle.
we descend further into Khazalgar to reach Hollowfall, a vast hollow area in the earth, bordered
That's
by
also
endless
deep
underground
down.
sea.
Okay.
This tenuous foothold under the bright light of an enormous crystal has allowed the Arathi to survive, using their airships to travel to high platforms.
Correct me if I'm wrong, y'all. Y'all. But doesn't that look like the tip of a certain sword that has been thrusted into the earth? Why is it glowing? It does. So I'm not just making
Plateaus
things
and
up.
established docks, light towers, villages, and even a priory. From their capital of Merildar, these trapped people
Merildar.
strive to keep hope alive and spread the light, while engaged in a
A
near
little less
constant battle
red,
with the
yeah.
Nerubians at their
Little
borders.
less red.
The open spaces, the bright
More
light,
bright.
and the greenery are intended to feel as though we're on the surface, somehow, rather than in this sort of strange hollow within Azeroth. The crystal provides brilliant light, warmth, and growth for vegetation. You may notice that all the blooming plants have opened their blossoms toward the light and seem to be reaching in that direction whenever they're in Hollowfall. Unfortunately, the crystal sun has been changing in recent years, where once the light was steady and reliable, it now fades without warning, plunging the Arathi into darkness.
Oh my god! Who would have thunk that the light just changes into void?
Where once
Oh my
reaching in that direction
god!
Whenever they're in Hollowfall. Unfortunately, the
Maybe
crystal sun has
light
been
is
changing
not
in recent
perfect.
years, where once the light
Maybe
was steady
light
reliable,
and
it now
void
fades
are more
without warning, plunging the
close
Arathi into
related.
darkness, save where they have
Then
built
we
light
want
towers
it.
and maintain their holy flame
Maybe.
beacons. In the absence of this light, the dangerous Kobis and other fierce creatures emerge from the sea to rampage. As the Arathi are barely holding back the Nerubians, these unpredictable episodes are incredibly demoralizing and deadly. Happily,
Okay.
the light has always returned to the crystal, so far. And at the deepest descent in the War Within, we reach the zone of Aj-Kahet. That almost rhymes. Anyway, the Nerubian city of Threads has been built on the ruins of itself, over and over and over again. As areas decay and crumble, a new district is built upon its ruins, and as a result,
I'm sorry.
over and over again. As areas decay and
Look at this boy. Look at this boy holding this mace. Look at him. It's like claws this big. Holding a tiny stick.
crumble, a new
Look
district
at
is
him.
built upon its ruins, and as a result, the city climbs ever higher. Those Nerubians favored by the queen, or possessing enormous wealth, or both, command the greatest views and live in the highest places over these swarming masses of the many districts. The Burrows is the home of the scavengers, the forgotten, deep in the decay and the filth. The Umbral Bazaar is a trading hub of fine silks, fascinating alchemical discoveries, and other exotic and hard-to-find goods. The Skaves are the home of the lore keepers and scholars who toil to maintain the history of their people
I don't like
and research
those
myths and
plants.
legends of Azeroth. There are many other districts and less than savory neighborhoods, both well-known and secret, that the careful adventurer could
Why does this look exactly like the Zevralek cavern? Why does this look exactly like Shadow Flame stuff?
discover, should they risk life and limb to do so. But the key to such exploration is fitting in among the Nerubians and being accepted, an enterprise best accomplished through skill
Because
in
it's
the use of
underground.
pheromones and
Yeah, so with the
considerable
other
bravery.
zones so far.
The zone of Aj-Kahet features areas of spectacular dark beauty that are inhabited by these creatures that have found a way to live among the Nerubians without being deemed a threat, found to be particularly tasty to consume, or just too much fun to torment. The mobilization of forces to assault the Arathi while also providing military might to achieve Xalatath's schemes has stirred up all sorts of inhabitants of the darkness. And deep within the city itself, the Nerubians are gathering an odd substance, the black blood of the old gods, for some unknown purpose. But I'm sure that's fine. And now I'd like to talk a little bit for some
Please
of the
repeat
itself.
that.
The Nerubians are gathering an odd substance, the black blood of the old gods, for some unknown purpose. But I'm sure that's fine.
Totally fine. Totally fine. You know, absolutely fine. absolutely fine. It's not like they're collecting it to raise a new god. No. No. You know, we absolutely don't know, thanks to Battle for Azeroth, that the Titans actually tried to make their own old god. You know? So people tried that already. You know.
And now I'd like to talk a little bit about our
Speed up makes it
As
more
I
funny.
mentioned, awesome.
I can't... Listen, this is 40 minutes long. Like, you can't see it, but it's 40 minutes long. Listen. We gotta get to shit fast, okay? Don't have all day. I don't have all
We travel
day.
from the Isle of Dorn into the Ringing Deeps, into Hollowfall, and then into Ajkahet. In the War Within, all of our zones are connected all together using the airlock technology that we developed for Zaralek Cavern, allowing
Of
for this
course.
seamless descent from the Isle of Dorn all the way to Ajkahet. That was video I just captured last week of the transition between the Ringing Deeps and Hollowfall. As you can see, we built for dynamic flight, and we were able to flow directly between the zones without the load screen. There is some seriously amazing swoopy
Dynamic
goodness
flight,
to be had
whoop, whoop,
moving
whoop.
across these zones and through these spaces. It feels
Yeah. Did anyone guess that the next expansions would not use dragon riding? Like, did anybody guess that? Like, I knew that they will never be able to take away the dragon riding from us ever again. Like, they tried to do every single time with old expansions, like, oh, we want you to explore the land. No. Sad ground mount noises.
so cool to burst out of a really tight area and into just a huge drop like that. It's so exhilarating. Now, this blobby map that I've got up here was an early attempt during development of our zone flow to try to figure out how we would stack these zones together and
Can we
achieve the
get that full
relationship
screen?
between their geography and geometry that made sense and felt great to traverse. We ended up with something slightly different than this, but this is pretty representative to explain what the world builders were thinking about when they planned these spaces.
I love that we're not getting it full screen. We're just getting videoing off the screen. Well done, Blizzard. Well done. So this was their original idea of the zones fading into each other. They have got a
It was
little
really
bit away
important to our
from that.
design that while 3 of the 4 zones are technically underground, they didn't feel that.
What I don't like about this is that you have to go through each zone to get to another one, you know? I feel like that is gonna be that's gonna feel tiresome. Like, I'm already getting tired looking at this. Just imagine you're at the top, cause you're probably gonna have like the main hub in the Dwarven City, right at the top, you know, cause you're gonna have those as the allied race. Probably have the main city up there. And the raid is probably gonna be down there, so you're gonna have to go all the way down every single time you're doing something. I don't know if that's gonna be that great of a feeling.
It was really important to our design that while 3 of the 4 zones are technically underground, they didn't feel that way, and that they were distinctly different from one another. We pursued that goal by introducing the natural cenotes
There's a yellow tube as a
and
shortcut.
leaning into the fantasy of the classic underground foundry, and by introducing
But is that just there to represent, like, the depth? Is that just there to represent depth? Because that's what it reads to me, right? To me, that reads, it represents depth. Maybe it is an elevator, but then again, that would be fucking stupid, wouldn't it? Just having a huge elevator going down to the Nerubians. I feel like that would come up as an issue. And fall for 5 minutes. That, you know, that would be cool. If you had, like, if that is, let's say this is the area of the dwarves, right? And you can jump down here to fall into, I'm gonna assume this is water. Don't know what else. Maybe. I don't know. And you jump down and you fall into the water and be in this region. Then you jump down here and fall into a little little puddle down here and be this. That would be so fucking cool. Just falling for 5 fucking minutes would be so fucking cool.
They didn't feel that way, and that they were distinctly different from one another. We pursued that goal by introducing the natural cenotes in the ringing deeps and leaning into the fantasy of the classic underground foundry and industrial workspaces. So even in the zone that felt the tightest, there's places that look as though they're actually on the surface. And within Hollowfall, we created a massive hollow space in a cavern so vast it feels like an exterior, with a huge artificial sun in the form of a gigantic crystal. And in Ajkahet, we leaned hard into traditional Nerubian architecture with hanging nests and huge palaces built all over a decaying city that just falls away into the depths. And that is the last bit of eye candy I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this peek at what we've got in development.
I mean, I have to say, the art team has always knocked it out of the park from Blizzard. It's the storytelling that I'm having an issue with. The story is lackluster at best.
So now it's time for me to introduce you to Morgan Day, who's going to give you lots of information about dungeons, raids, and systems. Enjoy. Thanks very much. Bye.
Hello, BlizzCon.
Hello, Daddy. Hell yeah.
My name is Morgan Day, and I'm here to talk to you about some of the...
I'm surprised we haven't seen Ian yet. Has Ian been fired? Like, so far, we've not seen Ian Hazacostas.
Content, features, and systems in The War Within.
Is he gonna show up at all?
That I'll regret later in thumbnails, but whatever. First up, let's talk about dungeons. There will be 8 new dungeons coming in The War Within, 4 during level up, 1 in each of the 4 zones that Maria just walked us through, as well as 4 at max level. There's a lot of really cool...
4 level up. The Rookery, the Stone Vault, the Priory of the Sacred Flame, City of Threads, and the max level ones, Cinderbrew Meteory, Dark Flame Cleft, the Dawnbreaker, and the Old City. I already don't like these two, the Sacred Flame and the Dawnbreaker, cause light and dark. These are probably gonna be where the Arathi are. I'm gonna assume.
Stuff happening in these dungeons. For
I don't
instance,
like
we have
it
a
already.
Kobold dungeon where you meet that Candle King, where there's like a light mechanic that takes place. You have to kind of keep it going to light your way. There's a dragon riding dungeon, of course, but also one of my favorites is the Cinderbrew Meadery that Maria just talked us through. So this is a dungeon that takes place on our first zone, the Isle of Dorn, which is where you'll experience, all of our earthen buddies, and this is the place where they make that Cinderbrew mead that she was talking about. They're taking all that honey that they gather from throughout the zone to make the mead, to do all kinds of fun and/or nefarious things with. Although I do have to say, I feel like they're a little bit behind the times. I feel like all the kids are drinking that, hard seltzer or something these days, but whatever. They're old school, I get it. Next up, our raid, the Nerubar Palace. So this is an 8-boss raid that will take place in the zone of Ajkahet, and this is really the culmination of all of those machinations we keep hearing about that we see play out between the Nerubian Empire, their queen, and her collaboration with Xalatath. So for this next one, we don't normally show things this early, but I thought it'd be cool to share. On the left there, you can kind of see the top-down view of the raid, and on the right, it's more of like a side cutout. So we like to work on all of our dungeons and raids when they still look like this, as it's much easier to iterate.
Okay. So, Harvest Pits, the Sanctum, the entrance. So the entrance is here. So you come in, and there's a boss on the ceiling? There's a boss on the ceiling? Entrance? Boss. It looks like... it looks interesting. I mean, both of the views are kind of weird. Are those spider webs? Is that supposed to be a spider web that's connecting things? Well, probably, right? Traversal fishing line. Okay. Traversal fishing line. Interesting. Looks like some Mario level. Yeah.
While we're in 2D than it is to kind of change the zones around once we're in the game and it's all blocked out. So to step us through the raid really quickly, after barging through the front door, you'll very quickly fall and/or get knocked into one of those giant pits of that black blood of the old god that you'll hear much more about in Ajkahet. And then you'll battle your way through the harvest pits, and then finally traverse your way back up through the stalactite wing, which is not a final name, I promise, until you finally fight your way into the queen's inner sanctum,
okay. So you fall down here, you fall down here and you make your way up. Fall down here and you make your way up through there and back up here. Okay, so I think these two parts are gonna be cut off and you have to jump down into the pits. I'm gonna assume.
So as you can see, this will kind of feel like a winged raid in terms of the vibes, but in terms of the player experience, it'll actually be quite a bit more linear than what you might be used to for a raid with some winged vibes. So something that I also think is fun to talk about.
It looks interesting.
Is, with all of our dungeons and raids, we like to try.
But then again, like layout, I don't
the
fucking
thing that's
care.
going to make this space feel really unique. That's going to make it stand out from all the other times that we've built.
Like I don't care for the
raids.
layout.
Space,
The boss is gonna be interesting.
To play with, they've got all these amazing like webs and silken threads that you can kind of traverse the zone through. We thought it'd be really fun to explore verticality as a major element of this raid. So I think that'll be really fun to see what the team comes up with for that. Next up.
It would be cool if we could drag and ride in one of the raids. Systems!
So I want to
oh
walk
my
you through
god.
some of our features and systems at a really high level, but first I want to talk about some of the philosophies that are really guiding us to add these into the War Within.
Okay.
So first and foremost,
Is he gonna talk about long-lasting systems? Is he gonna talk about systems that gonna stand the test of time, that are not gonna be thrown out like legacy stuff? Or another angry thunder god destroys a bridge you stand on. Yeah, unskippable cutscene and dial down the cave. Yeah. That I hate that you still cannot skip that fucking cutscene.
But, we really want to continue to extend the philosophies of Dragonflight into the War Within. And really, when we talk about that, there's three main pillars that I want to touch on. First, we really want to make sure that we're focusing on evergreen features. We want to make sure that we're making World of Warcraft better forever,
of course.
and not
Just
focusing
said
on
it.
things that we know we're going to have to leave behind as we move into future expansions.
How did I know? How did I know that he's emphasizing that they're not gonna make another Legion weapon? Oh,
Next,
such
we
an
want to make
easy
sure that
win.
there's something for everyone. So whether you're a hardcore raider, a PvPer, a collector, or apparently like Holly, you just love to play tons of alts and run around the world exploring things, we want to make sure that there's something in War Within that you can really geek out over and that resonates with you. And finally, we want to make sure that we're continuing to build on our philosophy and build on our systems and content with people who play multiple characters in mind. We want to make sure...
Yay! Respect player time!
We
Oh
want to
my
make sure that we're
god!
building all of our systems to really
Unbelievable!
respect
Such
the
a
time
weird
of the player behind the
concept.
keyboard and not focusing so
Such
much
a
on the
weird
accomplishments of that
concept.
individual character.
I didn't hear the last part. Sorry.
We want to make sure that we're building all of our systems to really respect the time of the player behind the keyboard and not focusing so much on the accomplishments of that individual character.
Oh wow! What a weird
So
concept.
let's talk about delves. Delves are a new feature that will be integrated into the outdoor world experience, where the fantasy of these is actually that you'll be joining the Dragonscale expedition in their search for lost treasures all across Kazalgar. So delves are an evergreen feature that is really integrated into the outdoor world experience. We want delves to be a new...
So, when I hear that that feature is gonna be an evergreen feature, I put evergreen towards dragon riding. Pokemon Go, Pog, hell yeah. So I hope that these delves are a feature that is gonna persist after this expansion. That is gonna be expended upon, like the dragon riding. 'Cause otherwise, it's not gonna be an evergreen feature if you just leave it in this expansion.
pillar of endgame content for those outdoor world explorers. We really view this as something like when we added World Quest back in Legion, where they are going to be really integrated and transformative into that outdoor world, especially that endgame loop. So one of the main reasons I'm stoked about those is that these will provide an opportunity for us to, give seasonal content and rewards to those outdoor world explorers. So that means things like, rewards that you're used to, like mounts, achievements, titles.
Okay.
We'll also be adding a outdoor row to the Great Vault with War Within.
Wait, what?
Achievements, titles, but we'll also be adding.
I need to slow this down this time. I need to slow this down because he's talking a little bit fast.
Rewards that you're used to, like mounts, achievements, titles. But we'll also be adding a outdoor row to the Great Vault with War Within.
We're actually gonna be able to do shit. We're actually gonna be able to get rewarded for outdoor shit and not just fucking dungeons. That's nice. Okay, I mean the systems sound nice. The story sounds shit. But, I guess we don't play World of Warcraft for the story anymore.
So so that all of you outdoor world explorers will be able to share in the joy of rushing to the Great Vault every week to collect your loot. And there will also be 13 unique delves that will be launching War Within with. And delves will scale from 1 to 5 players and be role agnostic. So that means if you want to play a delve solo, that's totally cool. If you want to go with you and your partner, that works as well.
Okay.
Or you can bring your whole dungeon group in, and the delve will scale based on your group size and your roles. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention one of my favorite features of delves, which I think Maria alluded to earlier, which is that there will be an NPC companion joining you on all of your adventures. So for Season 1, that'll be Bran Bronzebeard, as you can see.
Ooh, okay. I love companion. I loved the companion system from Legion. I love that at any given time, I had somebody fighting with me. And I also like the companion system of the hunts in Dragonflight. I wish the animals were a little bit more customizable though. Because in Legion you had an array of characters, and also in way back in Wilderness of Draenor, you had an array of characters that could follow you, right? And they all had different things to do. The animals, the bird and the dog, feel a little lackluster.
Bran will be tagging along with you on all of your delve adventures, and will totally never, not even once, aggro a pack of monsters that you didn't want him to.
Sure.
I don't have my fingers crossed behind my back right now.
Okay.
So Bran will
He
have
will not pull anything. Okay.
Bran will have a customizable talents and mechanics and abilities
Nice.
that you'll be able to kind of load out to suit your playstyle and needs. So maybe you need a little bit of extra healing. Well, you can load Bran out.
What?
Able to kind of load out to suit your playstyle and needs. So maybe you need a little bit of extra healing. Well, you can load Bran out to provide that for you.
So Bran Bronzebeard is
finally,
now a healer. Okay.
You wouldn't be exploring with the Dragonscale Expedition if at the end of every delve there wasn't this massive treasure trove that we need Bran to open for us, which hopefully brought a couple of keys to open some of the chests in there. But before Bran can open that vault for you, you'll need to maybe defeat a boss, maybe you'll solve a couple puzzles, something like that, and then Bran will be able to open that vault door for you. Next up, let's talk about warbands. It's happening.
What is warbands? What is that? Everybody's like,
system that we're introducing.
What is warbands? Like, the last two presenters I feel like talked about warbands, and I'm just like, what the fuck even is that?
It will really be the representation of all of your characters across your Battle.net account. Warbands are an opportunity for us to create a platform where you can share your achievements, resources, and all that other good stuff across all of those characters. So the goal of this system is really to be that representation of the philosophy shift that I mentioned earlier about really respecting the time.
New feature to represent all characters on a player's Battle.net account. Continue to build upon the philosophy of respecting the players.
Keyboards and not those individual characters. There's actually a
Tons
ton
of
of additional
additional
modifications. We've talked about a few here. There's no singular UI screen that says warbands. It's more of all these modifications and updates and features are kind of wearing a big coat that says warbands on the back of it. It's how I kind of keep it straight in my head. But just to talk about a couple of those cool features, we'll actually be revisiting the...
So that is... The warbands is not a feature itself. It's... Huh? Exclusive mods for people with at least 10 max level characters. What he just said, that there is not gonna be a feature with the name warbands on it. Or did I get that wrong?
I'm the player behind the keyboards and not those individual characters. There's actually a ton of additions and modifications. We've talked about a few here. There's no singular UI screen that says warbands. It's more of all these modifications and updates and features are kind of wearing a big coat that says warbands on the back of it. It's how I kind of keep it straight in my head. But just to talk about a couple of those cool features, we'll actually be revisiting...
So it's just features. It's not going to be a new thing. It's just features that they're revisiting. Like the transmog being alt-friendly. I don't know what that means.
Visiting the transmog rules of how you acquire those appearances in the War Within. So for all of you who have...
Oh, can we get different...
So that means all of you who have probably had to run 4 characters through all of those legacy instances just to make sure you're collecting all the appearances, that won't be the case anymore in War Within. You'll just be able to acquire them.
Okay, that's nice. That's nice.
And Holly mentioned this already, but this is obviously one that people are looking forward to. All of our reputations as well as...
What do we see here? Huh? Okay. I feel like somebody fucked up here. Like, why?
His renown in the War Within will be shared across your entire account.
Okay, my renown will be across my entire account. That is cool. Why don't you show it? Why do we have the same character? Am I not getting something? Am I missing something? Like, this is the same character. I'd assume the same character has the same renown as the same character. Like, why isn't it different characters? Am I missing something here? Am I missing anything? It's the same panel. It's just once you selected this one and once you select this one. I feel like someone fucked up here. I feel like whoever put together this slide of the presentation fucked up. Seriously.
Last but not least, let's talk about hero talents.
Ooh, that's
so here's a quick
interesting.
mock-up
New
of what
talent
the UI will
tree.
look like that I think really helps explain how these
Keeper
integrate
of
into
the
our current
Grove.
talent trees. But really quick, let's take a look at how this will work. So there will be 3 new hero talent trees per class, and 2 will be available per specialization that you can freely choose and swap between.
Okay.
And also, this is another evergreen feature. This is a system that we think is going to provide a new vector of choice and customization for you and all of your classes, as well as create opportunities for us to really dig into some of those core class fantasies that are, so.
I'd like to know what these sections gonna put in.
Amazing.
And how are they gonna work
So
on?
Hero Talents will introduce these new, small, self-contained talent trees like you just saw in the UI. And the way I like to think about it is like, currently we have 2 types of talent points, right? We have
How are they gonna work on druids? Like, do you have 3 to choose then?
Points and specialization talent points. And now in the War Within, there'll be a 3rd type called hero talent points. So let's look at a quick example, which hopefully explains it a little bit more. This is a warrior, as you can see. These are the 3 hero talent trees that they'll have available: Mountain Thane, Colossus, and Slayer. And as you can see in the top left, we have Protection, who will be able to choose between Mountain Thane and Colossus.
Okay.
On the right, you see Fury. Yep, that's right.
Yeah. could you also show how it's gonna work on druids and demon hunters? Because one of them has more and the other one has less than 3. That'd be interesting to see.
Mountain Thane and Slayer are their options, and down at the bottom, Colossus and Slayer are their options. So this is how the majority of our classes are going to look in the War Within. The exception, of course, being Druids and Demon Hunters, who are a bit special, so theirs will look a little different. So
Do we not gonna look?
As well as
Rude.
as you're leveling through the War Within. So the system will automatically unlock at level 71, and it'll just kind of appear in your UI. You'll earn 1 talent point per level as you level from 71 to 80. And there are 10 talent points in total, with several choice nodes along the way. So I like to think of this as being similar to like the Legion artifact, where as you have points in total, with several choice nodes.
10 totals. Okay, 10 total talent points.
So I like to think of this as being similar to like the Legion artifact, where as you were leveling and progressing, you were making some choices along the way.
Oh, don't say that! Don't say that! It sounds like you're gonna take it away again.
These are extremely low friction to swap between those choice nodes, as well as to swap between the different hero talent trees.
Don't mention the Legion artifacts. It sounds like you're gonna take it
this
away.
should be very analogous to your current talent trees, and will follow all the same rules that you used to there. So at the start of a raid boss, before Mythic Plus starts, before an arena match kicks off, and anywhere in between. And to wrap this up, I wanted to show off a really quick video of what hero talents look like in action.
Okay.
So this is a warrior, as you can see, pop an avatar, jumping in. And this next one is that same warrior with a Mountain Thane talent tree. As you can see, Stormbolt hits multiple targets. There's a couple cool new VFX, and a lot of other cool stuff going on there as well. I heard some oohs. Ooh. Our effects artist will be.
I feel like that's lackluster.
So that wraps us up for our what's next. You can see
feel
Stormbolt
like
hits multiple targets, avatar, jumping in. A really quick video of what hero talents look like in action.
I feel like that's a
this is
little
warrior, as you can see,
lackluster.
pop an avatar, jumping in. And this next one is that same warrior with the Mountain Thane talent tree. As you can see, Stormbolt hits multiple targets. There's a couple.
So the only thing that changes is one of the skill now hits multiple targets, and then we have a little electricity. That's all it changed.
Cool new VFX, and a lot of other cool stuff going on there as well. I heard some oohs. Ooh. Our effects
It's
artist will
like,
be So that about wraps us up.
It's
for
less like
what's next panel.
ooh and more like
We hope you really liked what you saw here, and if you'd like to know more,
if that warrior was the best thing they could come up with and show visually, what would change?
please join us tomorrow at the deep dive panel at noon, where Ian will walk you through some of what you saw today in more detail. Ooh, Ian! As well as
Ian actually is
thank you all so much.
gonna have an appearance. Bye. He's not been fired. He's not been fired. Ian Hazakostas is still at Blizzard. Okay, so that is gonna be the deep dive, right? Wow, deep dive. BlizzCon 2023. Deep dive, there we go. How long
Welcome
is this?
back,
40?
We're starting the day off right. Here's the World of Warcraft deep dive.
Okay, we'll probably gonna watch this in the afternoon. Let's quickly go and look at the intro BlizzCon opening ceremony for Overwatch. Watch full presentation, and then we're gonna quickly watch the one for Diablo.
You wanted to see if there was more out there. Well, see for yourself.
Winton. Yesterday I watched all the cinematics for Overwatch again. They're so fucking good. Sombra. Bob.
I'll see you at the finish line. Did you really think this would be
I wonder if we're gonna see Taehun at any point. Hey, Flats. I'm in my Widow era now. Okay. Cool.
Please welcome Overwatch Game Director, Aaron Keller.
Hello, BlizzCon! Ever since we first revealed Overwatch in 2014, you have grown this universe into something truly unique and beautiful. Every single day, we see millions of players jumping into matches, forging new friendships, and showing off their skills.
Really?
We launched Overwatch 2 last October, and it has been such an incredible year. Since then, you've been crushed by Diva's mech over 26 million times. Had more than 79 million lives saved by Baptiste, and played 65 years worth of prop hunt. I love prop hunt.
65 years of prop hunt. Wow.
Our players. We want our game to represent this global community. From the release of our Samoa map, to our celebration of Pride, to our first tie
Hell
of
yeah.
heroes
Finally.
like Weaver and Alari. We also want Overwatch to recognize those focused on achievement and prowess, and released our new progression system and the first set of hero mastery courses this year. And for those that just want something a little different, we've run April Fools and released a dating sim, an actual dating sim, Loverwatch.
Should we play that at some point in time? The dating sim, now that we've actually played Overwatch, should we play that dating
We've been hard
sim?
at work on an overhaul of our competitive system. And we'll get into that a bit today and a bunch more over the course of BlizzCon. And there is so much more to come. We'd like to give you all a glimpse at as much as we're able to show you coming next year. And boy, do we have some fun things to talk about. So let's get into it. To share our first big announcement, I am honored to introduce the art director of Overwatch, Dion Rogers.
Sorry, I'm a bit excited. The energy is awesome in here. You know, Aaron and I have been working on this universe since before Overwatch had a name. Working together with an incredible team back at Blizzard, many are with us today at BlizzCon. Creating such an incredible game with so many amazing people and seeing what it means to you all, it's meant everything to us. And out of all the things we work on, one of our favorites is to create new heroes. You know, Overwatch is full of big personalities, and it takes a special individual to really stand out. And the team team's been working hard to make sure no one could predict who this next hero is. We haven't leaked any articles. We haven't leaked a spray or two. And we've left 0 hints, especially not in our recent
Samoa. Yeah, no, not at all.
Now, who's ready to meet the newest hero?
Just FYI, on the Samoa app, there is
Lonesome
a
said,
house.
"Let SE Kitsune guide you."
Let's Kitsune guide you. On the Samoa app, map app, there is a house which had a very distinctive shirt in it, which was first shown, I think, in one of Baptiste's lore videos, where there was a character wearing that same shirt. So everybody knew which character they were gonna announce. So that wasn't really a surprise.
Sorry to keep you all waiting. Now that I'm here, let's have some fun. Yep, that's my name, all right.
Look at them titties, though.
And she can light up the whole dance floor. And this one's
Blah.
He's a sensitive little fella, a real hot.
I have to say though, he's great for killing Orisa. That I can attest to. I've played him in 2 maps, and I've killed Orisa in both of them, every single fucking time. He's good for killing Orisa. Maybe even Ball. Yeah, I can see that.
Gameplay footage. I'm a hot boy. Going so soon, I'm gonna miss ya. Don't tell me that's it. Both hearts pumping. I got your back. For now. Here I come.
By the way, Sombra's ult can completely destroy his ult, and I love it.
We got him where we want him.
Unbelievable.
So was I worth the wait?
He falls over so quickly though. He needs a healer. Like, even though he's one of the bad guys. Yeah. I mean, technically so was Baptiste. Moira is one of the bad guys. Technically speaking. But what I found so hilarious, so his whole deal is basically that when he crits, he heals himself, right? Which is kind of cool as a tank ability. It's basically Reaper as a tank, but with crits instead of just damage. But the issue is, even with himself healing himself the entire time, he falls over so quickly. Like, I've had multiple times where I killed the tank by myself as Sombra. Just hacking him quickly, and then just going to town, relocating so he can't, he can't keep track of me, and just killing him so fucking quick.
That's awesome. I love that trailer. We had a lot of fun working on it. It's amazing to finally announce Malga. He was first introduced, you guys know, 4 years ago in a short story, and he's been the subject of a lot of fun theories. Ever since that first introduction, fans have been asking when he will become a playable hero.
There he
We're
was.
excited. We finally have our first Samoan hero. Malga, his name, it means mountain in Samoan. He portrays himself as this big, loud brute. However, this is just a facade.
And he's tiny. He's so small. I don't know why, but his character in-game is so small.
We're always striving for greater authenticity and representation with each hero.
Like, he looks like he's this big brute, but he's as big as May, basically. He's broad, yes, but he's as tall as May.
It was awesome. Malga's super fun to play. He's easy to learn, hard to master, with what I like to call a brutal but cunning playstyle. We hope you love him as much as we do. Okay. Thank you. Okay, Join us later today for a Malga Deep Dive panel taking place here at the Blizzcon Arena.
He needs some rework, I have to say. He needs some...
And also how to best utilize his amazing abilities when he joins Overwatch in Season 8.
Yeah.
Finally, we know Malga's going to be pretty awesome when he joins competitive play. But before then, some of the best players in the world are competing in this weekend's Overwatch World Cup. Let's check it out.
Legacy. Legacy is forever. All year
Does
long,
anybody
Team
actually
World
watch, by the way?
chasing glory,
Did
hoping to
anybody
enter homeland in the
watch?
history books.
That is insane! He's still cracking like a madman! Hit a 5-man rampage!
I'm not an esports guy. I don't give a shit. I don't give a single fucking shit about competitive play. Did anybody watch this?
We're all together once more, back to where it all began.
Like, I find it to be so fucking boring.
The community has rallied behind them, and the wait is finally over. The Overwatch World Cup Finals start now.
Like, I think Ant has been watching.
Welcome, Overwatch esports host Zoe Schwind.
Wow, fantastic to see all those memories on the big screen. And we're here to make some more. What's up, BlizzCon?
Alright. I don't really care about the Overwatch League bullshit. Overwatch collaborations. Le Seraphim. By the way, thanks to Overwatch, I am now a Le Seraphim hater. Thanks to Overwatch. Thank you for introducing me to this girl group, which I dislike immensely now. Thank you so much.
So much fun.
Oh.
Overwatch has another thing happening here at BlizzCon. Earlier this week, we launched a new limited time game mode. And special skins as part of an exciting collaboration with Le Seraphim, one of the biggest K-pop groups in the world. Everyone can jump in-game right now to take part, as well as check out their brand new music video for Perfect Night. And in honor of this collaboration, Le Seraphim will take the stage and perform in the arena tomorrow after the community night ends around 6 p.m. Pacific.
Cool.
Working on partnerships like
Were they live? What did he say live?
Will take the stage and perform in the arena
No.
tomorrow after
No.
the community
Okay,
night
he
ends
didn't say
around
live
6 p.m. Pacific.
because oh, by the way, I like the in-game outfits of the Korean band. I love the outfits. I bought the outfits. They're fucking amazing, top tier skins. I hate the band. I hate the band. I have watched multiple videos of theirs, right? Cause I thought it was weird, cause there was something weird about it. I liked the music, right? I didn't like the voices. The voices are underwhelming, to say it best. And I thought, okay, let me watch some of the live performances, right? They don't perform live. It's all fucking playback. Like every single video I've watched of them performing live, they were just performing live. They weren't singing live. Like, not a single time. I watched like 10 videos where they were like, oh, watch Le Seraphim perform live. They were just playback singing. But it's no. Like, there are three types. There are three types of musicians, right? There are the performers, like Britney Spears. You know, you don't go to a concert to hear Britney Spears sing, because she won't. I love Britney Spears. I love Britney. But you watch her dance, right? Because she's just gonna sing to playback, right? It's just gonna be a CD playing, maybe some different vocal cords than on the LP. You know, which usually people do record a different track for their performances, for concerts, just so it's a different experience than what they bought from iTunes, from the CDs, whatever. Then there is the vocalists, like, for example, an Adele, a Mariah Carey. They don't move much. They don't perform like dances or choreography. they're just there to have an amazing voice, right? And then there are the performing singers, like for example, a Pink. Pink sings live, and she fucking performs her ass off. Does it come? I love you, bitch. I ain't gonna never stop loving you, bitch. But what I don't understand is how groups get so big without performing live. I don't understand it. Especially I've been watching some of their performances, and at certain situations they don't even lip sync. Like, either they forget, they don't know who sings what line, but at certain points they just don't even bother to lip sync. Le Seraphim, that is. They don't even bother to lip sync, and I'm just like, did you forget that you're supposed to sing this part? It's so fucking weird. Like, they don't even care. They don't even care to put on a show, which makes this so fucking weird. On top of them not really being that great of vocalists, you know. Like, and hey, Ekami, I'm sorry. Overwatch introduced me to Le Seraphim and made me hate them. I'm sorry.
Working on partnerships like this, or what we did with One Punch Man earlier this year, are incredibly fun. Yes, they provide us, both the dev team and you, the players, a chance to experience some of our favorite universes and artists through the unique style of Overwatch. And next year we have even more of these for you all.
I hope, because it's
Sadly,
getting boring.
We can't reveal what those are all just yet, but maybe there are some other things coming in 2024 that we could give you a hint about.
Okay.
The Overwatch team has never had such clarity of vision when it comes to the future. From direct feedback, we hear what you love and want us to focus on. So, who wants to see a few of the things we're working on for next year?
Yay!
We are creating a brand new core PvP game mode, Clash. In this new competitive mode, there are 5 points positioned in a row. The center point starts as the first objective, and the teams battle back and forth over the map, pushing into enemy territory or defending their own. Once a team captures all 5 points or reaches the maximum score, they win. Our initial Clash map is a tribute to the location we showed at Overwatch's first Blizzcon, and it's one of my personal favorites. They say cherry blossoms are a sign of rebirth.
Oh, they're bringing back a map for...
One of the original Overwatch maps is in order.
Oh, thankfully.
Yes. Within the Clash mode, we are returning to the home of the Shimada clan with the new Hanamura map, Hanaoka.
Hanaoka, okay.
Additionally, we are working on overhauls to some of our most important in-game systems. Overwatch is a highly competitive game, and in early 2024,
I love that. That is such a pretty map, and I was so sad that I never get to play on it.
And with Seasons, one of the team's goals has been to create themes that speak to so many of the cool and awesome things that we all love. Next year, you'll experience Eldritch Horror, Egyptian mythology, witches, and even a mirror universe where heroes become villains and villains become heroes. And of course, Overwatch is nothing.
I did play as Mauga, yeah, I did.
Mauga is the 39th hero in Overwatch, and in 2024, we'll be releasing 3 more, and we want to give you a glimpse of 2 of them. A new damage hero venture is coming in Season 10, and a support currently codenamed Space Ranger in Season 12.
Damage hero support?
And this...
Wait, what?
And we want to give you a glimpse of 2 of them. A new damage hero venture is coming in Season 10, and a support currently codenamed Space Ranger in Season 12.
Space Ranger! They look cool. They look cool.
The surface of everything we have in the works. Join us tomorrow here and online, where we go in depth on all of this in our What's Next panel. It will have more information on Clash, the reworked competitive system, a closer look at Space Ranger, even early gameplay footage of Venture, and so much more.
Okay.
And lastly, for the first time ever during a BlizzCon, not only is our next hero playable in the Overwatch Hall here in Anaheim, but all of you at home can play now all weekend in-game, including Quick Play, going live right after the BlizzCon opening ceremony concludes.
Yeah, he needs some work. Is what I'm saying. So his deal is he heals for the critical damage he does. So he has 2 machine guns, right? Railguns, actually. He has 2 railguns. One railgun sets enemies on fire. and the second railgun deals crit damage to anything that's on fire. So you set something ablaze, and then you deal crit damage with the other weapon and heal yourself up. He falls over though like a diva without defense matrix. Like, he's gone quickly. Like, I'm not fucking joking. I, as Sombra, spawn camped a Moga several times over the weekend now. And I can't do it with a diva if she doesn't respond immediately, right? I can't do it with a diva. But I've yet to be able to do it with any other character other than diva. And that only works if I'm really careful what I'm doing, because otherwise she's just gonna roll over me. But he was just so fucking easy. So many times. I've killed him so many times. And he's good for something like Orisa. He's good in killing Orisa because he's just getting them crits off constantly, right? And probably Ball as well, because you can't hit a Ball critically. So he's probably gonna be good for Ball as well. But he is paper thin. He just falls over so quickly. He needs healing constantly. Because you have... Why don't you compare him? Hi, new friend. Hi, Nixon. How you doing? I'm sorry. I'm gonna take a break in a few minutes. We're just talking about the BlizzCon. Hi. But Nixon is a fellow cozy streamer that we raided last week. I hope I pronounced it right, Nixon. I hope. If you have not, go over. Give her a follow. Oh my god, what happened?
I upgraded the wrong tool.
I see you. You've played a little further. Or is that from a different stream? I don't know.
Upgraded the wrong tool.
To Junker Queen. The thing is, Junker Queen's healing is way better. That's the issue. Junker Queen's healing is way better than Moga's healing. I honestly, I feel like he's more comparable to a diva without defense matrix. Not me being exposed. Yeah, he's more of a diva without defense matrix, because he doesn't serve any protection for the team. He's fairly small. Like, can we Overwatch what you Moga in game? Like, he's not that big. He looks like a fucking beast, but he is not very tall. Overwatch Moga. Can I have somebody who's just watching him? Excuse me, fuck off, you fucking idiot. I would like to see somebody just playing against him. Can we see him? Oh, there we go.
As everybody probably already knows, the new hero Malga was released earlier for a limited time playtest for everyone who owns
when he
Overwatch
zooms around.
Forms of crowd control. So does that actually work? In most
Look at him, he's not
cases,
that tall.
yes,
He's
it does.
broad.
He can be hit.
But look, he's a little bit taller than Cassidy. So he's not that huge, like tall in vertical size. He's very broad. he's definitely smaller than
and
Hog.
just continue his charge uninterrupted. Poor
I mean,
Reinhardt
look at that. That's Anna standing up right next to him.
He can be hit with
he's not that big, right? That's Kiriko. Like, he's up to Kiriko is up to his shoulder. He's not that big of a character. So he has no... He's not as big as other characters, right? Like, look at Ryan. Look at Ryan compared to him. Like, Ryan is as broad and taller than him. So he doesn't provide protection because he's smaller. He's just smaller. He doesn't have a shield. He doesn't have a defense matrix or a Saki like Sigma. He doesn't provide anything for the group. So I feel like he's gonna have a rework before he gets released. Like, he's gonna have a rework before he gets released. Because just healing a little bit ain't it. That ain't it. He doesn't provide anything for the group. Other than damage, and let's be honest, I'd rather have a Reaper for damage. I'd rather have a Reaper for damage. But anyways, I'm gonna take a break now. I'm gonna get some food. We'll be back later on watching the deep dive for World of Warcraft. And then we're gonna watch probably the deep dive. Oh, right, we still have to watch the Diablo stuff because I don't know what's going on there. Anyways, have a nice lunch break, everybody. We'll be back in about 2 hours. Don't forget to take your medication, get something to eat, get some fresh air, do stuff and things. We'll be back. Ciao, ciao.